Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Hello, good people. Welcome to the world of tomorrow. In the year 2025.
In the year 2000.
What a way to start it off with a Futurama reference, eh?
I knew you couldn't resist.
I can't resist.
Futurama reference, yes.
But in the year
All right.
2025, it sure as hell feels like the world of tomorrow. My God,
Yep.
it's getting scary.
Yeah. So we are on the T of the WTF to start the year.
We are.
I think it's
stuck in the middle with you.
We're gonna have a shitty year, but we'll see what happens. For now, Happy New Year, folks. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hope it was a great one.
For sure.
We took last week off because timing was all over the freaking place. So
Yeah.
if you're wondering where we were last week, hope you didn't get too confused or worried. It was the holidays.
Yep. I couldn't do it all by myself this last week. That wasn't happening, guys.
Yeah. I was at the Mandarin on recording night, so with my family. So
that wasn't going to work either.
Yeah, I can only talk about comic books so much between mouthfuls of lemon chicken.
Fucking A.
Yeah. So we got a lot of books.
Oh boy, do
but
we ever.
First, we got a lot of people. My name is Rob. How are you? I'm an Aries.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. And you are?
My name is
Maximilian Pegasus.
Richard Grayson.
Grandmaster B. Randon.
Bloodhaven. And I'm very excited to be here.
Right on. Thank you for sharing.
Hi.
And I'm Cancer.
You're Cancer. You have cancer?
I have that too, but
oh fuck.
I'm also a Cancer.
Good thing I know an irradiated man that can help you out.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm also an Aries.
Hi, Josh.
I enjoy long walks on the beach and cancer.
You enjoy cancer?
Sorry. That was funny to me anyway. I have a morbid sense of humor. Oh boy. I enjoy punishment as well. As fun as we're at episode 230.
Oh shit, I forgot to say the number.
Yeah.
We are at that's almost 4.5 years of shows.
It just occurred to me as I was coming back from Queens that because I was like, how long have I been on this? It's been like what, 2 years? And then I thought, and I was like, nope. Rob and I started in 2021.
Yeah.
2025.
February.
Yep.
This is 4 years of my life.
Yeah.
My God.
It doesn't even feel like it.
No.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. It's been a blast.
Well, it is a lot. 4.5 years altogether of shows. Rob and Brandon here for nearly most of that. That is a lot, and we are not going anywhere. Kryptonians, Daxamites, Themyscirians, Atlanteans, Ranians, Thanagarians, 5 members of the Secret Six, you know who you are, and every single one of our other listeners. Let's kick off 2025 with a real WTF, combining the end of 2024 with the start of 2025, which gave us...
Mark Maron on the show?
Yeah.
When you said WTF, I assume we're either going on the WTF podcast.
Oh man, I wish.
On the show.
I love Mark Maron so much.
I'm still wrapping my head around you saying 5 of the 6 5 members of the Secret Six. I'm trying to figure out who the last one is.
That's up to, that's between me and them.
Oh, okay.
All right. We have like 13 issues in just this main show and about 16 other ones from this week and last that we are not going to cover in this show. However,
I made a Green Lantern.
you did make a Green Lantern.
Yeah, out of Play-Doh.
Nice.
Because I got this from the dollar store.
Sick.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. So DC has been putting out a crazy amount of books. They're not going to stop doing that. We don't want to stop covering them, and I never stop reading books, even if I hate them. So we're just going to go ahead and move our honorable mentions all the way over to, whoops, moved my mic, all the way over to a brand new show. It's going to be a companion show for with this one. We'll just release it alongside of it. Any books that aren't going to be covered in this show will be covered by me in that one. Real brief, just making sure everybody gets their fair due.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
then,
Mark Maron's going to be on the show.
Oh God, yes! Eventually, Mark Maron will be on the show.
I didn't even know Mark Maron was a comic book fan.
He's not. I
don't think
I
he
can't
is.
say that. I can't say that he is. As a matter of fact, I think he
No idea.
hates comic book movies.
No, it's not the same. You can read them. Maybe that's why he hates the movies, because he likes the books so much.
Maybe he's just sick of regular comic book characters, and you don't have to be sick of regular comic book characters to enjoy their absolute versions. Speaking of which, we will be moving those books to their own show, which we will be doing once a month. It will be for example, this month we'll finish it up at the end of January, Absolute January, covering all of the Absolute titles that released in the month of January. And we'll be doing that going forward. They're really good. Think that they deserve their own space, and that's
world,
about you're right. Their own world, if you will, indeed. And now, meanwhile, in the Justice League Watchtower, we return to Rob and Brandon.
Thank you, Josh, for that stunning revelation.
No problem.
We now go live to the field. All right, so yeah, we have about 12 books. We decided, since we had last week off, we are going to combine
with these forces. Combine.
Yes, and combine last week and this week into one gigantic show, which will be a send-off to 2024 and a good hello to 2025 going forward.
You might even call it a giant-sized episode.
Ooh, I
Indeed.
like it. What does that mean for the quality of the books? Absolutely nothing. It is the same as it's always been. We're just making it special for the sake of being special.
Because we're going all in on DC.
And also because we're special.
We are special.
I'm special.
At least my mom says I'm special.
Oh, what did...
I wish I could remember what Isaiah said the other day about my age and my memory. God, that damn it. That shit was so hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
What we were playing.
It was like... I think you said something to Russell about something, and then Isaiah was like, don't worry, in 2 seconds he won't remember it. Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, anyway.
You're like, it's funny because it's true.
It's funny because it's true.
That's when you start crying.
I'll be all right. I've had 4 years to get used to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so needless to say, we finished 2024 playing Marvel Rivals.
We did.
And we will continue 2025 with playing Marvel Rivals.
We will.
In fact, I'm ready to go as soon as we're done.
Russell just pops in and says, "Wrestling podcast" in capital letters.
Well, once you figure out how to get noise reduction on your microphone, Brady, maybe we could do it.
Mark.
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 Netflix. What about Netflix?
Netflix.
What? Are you watching the Royal Rumble again?
Are you sneaking communication to us, hiding from your girlfriend in the bathroom?
He's not at his girlfriend's right now. He stayed home today.
Oh, good. Well, speak in more than one word. It feels like you're coded,
Yeah. If you take the third letter of each word.
right? I do not need to. If I have to break out Macbeth to talk to you,
It's not even just Jinx, bud. It's Willie too. We've heard Willie.
Jinx just has a huge mouth.
Shit.
Yeah, it is.
He's very tiny.
It's your other roommate too. That guy. Wow, he's. I
Pretty
guess
sure
they're
I
both
heard
loud.
Dave a couple times. Sorry, none of you know who any of these people are.
Nope.
Brady's one of my closest friends.
Willie's not here, man. Willie? Oh boy, we have a lot of books to get into this
That we're
week.
never gonna get to.
We're gonna get to them. We don't even have to worry about the honorable mentions because they're gonna be in another show.
Exactly.
This week we've got The Flash 16, Green Arrow 19, Action Comics 1081. I'm not gonna run out of breath at this.
You wanna
Detective
take
Comics, Detective Comics 1092, Superman 21, Justice League Unlimited number 2, Metamorpho the Element. I'm never gonna do it right. I'm never gonna do it right.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
The Element Man number 1, Justice League the Atom Project number 1, Shazam 19, JSA number 3, Birds of Prey 17, Batman 156. And everything from the last 2 weeks that was not in that list will be released in a podcast on the Honorable Mentions podcast the following day.
With the exception of the Absolute books, which will be in its own show.
Yes.
Correct.
Absolute January, the last Thursday of the month.
Darkseid is.
And always shall be.
Yeah, I am down, Brady, but it also depends on what time we finish because I got to put my daughter to bed. So I might be able to run a couple of matches of Marvel Rivals. And Josh, I hope you are available as well. Brandon, I highly recommend this game.
Ooh. Before we progress, I have to ask, Russell, I don't know you, but is that A intentional?
Yeah,
Oh, he is Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
He's Canadian.
Typo.
I work with him. He lives pretty much around the
Torontonian.
corner from me. Bramptonian, thank you very much.
Bramptonian. It's Brampton. All right. Well, it looks like it is me that's going to kick things off. So let me get to it. The Flash number 16, written by Simon Spurrier, art by Vasco Georgiev, colors from Matt Herms, letters by Hassan Atmani El Hao, with a cover from Mike Del Mundo. The Flash family stumbles into Weather Wizard, who, in my opinion, is taking the wizard part a bit too far in this one. But they fight throughout the entire issue with powers all wonky. Weather Wizard is able to make an atmospheric sphere around them that's cutting Wally off from the dog, the source of all of their powers, in Skartaris. Meanwhile, Irie and Jay are the focus of the book, while we hear a bit more of the power changes that they're both going through. But boy, I'm having a hard time talking this today. But more importantly, we find out that the dog, though that they remember him always being there now, is actually the offspring of the Deep Change, given to the Flash family because the Deep Change chose them as the best people to raise a baby Cosmos, as you would, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, they never, ever are in danger. In the fight, it's the loving, nurturing thing that gets them. What was that?
That was kind of weird. Brandon?
Was that the Deep Change?
No.
Okay.
He said
Kind
knowingly.
of freaked out, man. In the fight, Weather Wizard was about to get Wally when Warlord shows up and
Jesus.
gets him from behind.
You should have added a couple more W's in there, made it fun.
but he thanks Wally for his help taking him down, and then introduces. Ah, crap! Look what you did.
You screwed him up.
You made a tongue twister there. I just
I
gathered
didn't
it.
do it on purpose. He thanks Wally for his help taking him down and then introduces himself to Wally. Jay, however, can see that Warlord isn't just who he says he is. Using his powers to see an alternate fold of reality, he sees some black tentacle-looking things reaching out of Warlord's face. Well, I don't know about all of you, but this is officially set up to be something I cannot stop reading. The story inside the story, the West family trip to Skartaris, and what's happening there is cool. It's enjoyable, and it's much more than just Weather Wizard. But it's the biggest part of it is the power shake-up, and added to that, what Wally was already going through because of the deep change. To me, the Flash family power set is probably the biggest shakeup in all of DC, with perhaps the exception of Captain Atom, but we'll get to that. There is so much that's happened in the Flash family, and for once it didn't end in tragedy or despair, but so much change, and that's what I'm dying to know. Right, I'm dying to know the ins and outs of. It's affected everybody. And so it's like, give me all of this. But it also means that it needs to be definitive. There's room to screw this up. If it can't turn into something to where their powers just grow or change or whatever to suit whatever story is going on. There needs to be, like, give us a definitive power set that everybody's got. Let's have fun exploring that, getting to it, but then, like, that's it. Don't use it as a crutch to write stories. George Eve and Herms together make such good-looking comics. I don't want to underplay that at all. This looks great. I've talked a lot already and stumbled through half of it. Spurrier's plot rollout is my cup of tea. 8.5 out of 10. Oops, and that's the Flash cover, by the way. My bad.
Right on. So black tentacles coming out of Warlord's head. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say what everybody's thinking, and I think this is it. It's 2025, so it's bound to happen sooner or later. This is the first salvo of the epic Secret Crisis crossover.
Oh God! Enough out of you.
And and we all know that's a symbiote. That's a Clintar coming out of Warlord's head there. We all know it. You can't deny it.
2026 is going to come and go, and there will be neither a Secret Crisis or a Crisis on Infinite Secrets for you to report on. You will just have to accept
make
that.
It fucking happen. I am determined, but I don't think it's supposed to happen until 2030. So,
Did it say 2030?
I think it was 2030.
Oh God,
there's time. Long con, baby, long con. Play the long game. I mean, hell, if it's gonna be written by Jeff Johns, we'll probably get Ghost Machine in there somehow.
I would not be surprised to see a Ghost Machine DC crossover at some point.
I would
That's
love
only a matter of time
to see the Challengers of the Unknown with the Fantastic Four and the Rocketeers.
What?
Because I'm loving that book.
I'm so glad. I'm like beaming over here.
Yes.
Finally, someone else is reading.
It's such a fun book.
I'm so proud.
Yes.
I'm not gonna cry. Yeah, no, I love that book.
Yeah, it's really good. But we're talking about the Flash. Spoiler alert: I forgot to mention to you guys. I'm gonna say because we're covering 2 weeks, let's allow ourselves 2 favorite moments.
Oh, sure. I have 2 favorite moments, but I don't know
Perfect.
if they're from 2 separate weeks.
I mean, so I've got the division in our book list.
All right, how about
with the new number 1? So between Metamorpho and the Atom Project, that's the 2 different weeks,
Okay.
right? So anything above Metamorpho and below the Atom Project.
Okay.
Yeah. So spoiler alert, my favorite moment from last week is in this book. For the remainder of the show, I'll let you all try and figure out what it is.
There were some good moments in this one.
There were a lot of good moments. This was actually a really fun issue. It was a lot of great stuff, a lot of interesting story, a lot of nice plot threads hanging around. Wally just having a D&D campaign with Weather Wizard was fantastic. And Linda just like, I'm the bard. Like, yes. I love it. No, this was a lot of fun. The art was fantastic. The story is very interesting, and I'm liking that the book is finally getting to a bit more of a fun area again, instead of just a psychedelic trip through space-time. Like
It was
Doctor Who on mushrooms.
Yeah.
I'm telling
It's
you,
funny because Ira literally makes a snide comment about that, where she's like, "I thought we were done with all the timey-wimey crap."
Mm-hmm.
yeah, trippy. But Spurrier doesn't do anything without a reason, man. All of that needed to happen for whatever this was. I'm sure there will be an even better payoff ahead.
I hope
I'm
so.
excited about what's coming for the Flash family.
I'm still not a fan of the new costume, but maybe it'll grow on me eventually.
You know what? I noticed that it really stood out to me a lot less this time.
Yeah, I don't like that it's doing that.
My eyes are definitely settling to it, but I still greatly dislike it.
Yeah.
It's more that I've gotten used to seeing it. It doesn't mean I enjoy it.
In my opinion, a
Fair
Flash
enough.
costume should never be too busy.
No.
It should be very slick, streamlined, like a Flash. It's very quick, smooth, sleek, like a Flash should be.
I'm
anything
sorry.
with-
It should be mostly monochrome. Maybe that's static. I don't know, which is ironic considering it's called the Flash. But I just the Flash has such a sleek, seamless costume. It doesn't need a bunch of different fucking colors.
Yeah.
Red and gold, simple.
All you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
What we need is change.
Like Spider-Man. You know,
No.
Spider-Man needs a red, green, orange, and white costume.
Welcome
I think
back.
that's really cool. I
Yeah.
think that would be awesome.
Spider-Man needs a what?
Red, orange, green, and purple costume.
Yes.
No, look, hold on. Red, green, and wait, no. Purple, green, and black. That spoiler costume, that one's cool as shit. And then red, orange, and black. That one's cool as shit. Both of
Wait,
those
what are
I've
you
seen
talking
in
about?
Spider-Man costumes that are in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game.
Oh,
Where are you going with this?
Yeah,
I was making a comment on how
that.
Spider-Man's costume is simple and thus it works because it doesn't need a bunch of colors.
But Spider-Man has so many different costumes in so many different
That's true, but
canonized
which is-
stories.
which is
Video
the
game.
Spider-Man costume you see almost every time.
Yeah, how many times does it go back to the OG?
Exactly.
Having had better
That's
costumes.
exactly
like
my
Ben
point.
Reilly,
Yeah, how many different versions of the OG is there?
Like,
I mean,
3.
are you looking at the one?
Well, they're drawn differently, but it's the same costume.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say there's a little variation between how Ditko drew the. Oh my god, now we're getting into quibbles.
Okay. So there is
Spider on the
is
chest versus
if I
Ramita,
may,
but it's the same
if I
costume
may,
concept.
there is OG. There's OG with web wings, and there's the new Ultimate version, which has a slightly different spider on it.
and you know,
there's
oh
3.
god, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Say it.
I like the new Ultimate version better.
I mean, it's the same costume. It's just got a
But
slightly different spider.
yeah,
The
it's just
spider
different
looks
logo.
cooler on it.
It
though,
does.
I think.
It does. Yeah. It's a nicer looking spider.
Yeah.
Because, and if I may, It's sleeker. It's streamlined. It's simple. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come back full circle to
Ah,
the Flash should be a simple fucking costume.
thank you. Thank you, Rob.
This is too busy. The problems I have with this costume is the same
But
problems I had with the
perhaps-
movie costume, the Zack Snyder movie costume. That was way too fucking busy.
Perhaps, I mean, that's aside. That was all supposed to be sciencey. Perhaps the whole reason for the more
get that.
complicated costume is to reflect his more complicated powers, setting him further apart from Barry.
I mean, Wally
But then
developed
why-
many different powers over the course of the 90s and yet did not go through multiple costume changes to the
Yes,
point
he
where
did.
he's like almost unrecognizable.
You
What
can
I'm
still
saying.
recognize that this is a Flash
Oh.
costume.
In the
You can't
worst
recognize
way.
Wally because
Yeah.
while you say is supposed to distance himself from Barry, he now has the same cowl as Barry. The
Yeah,
ear
but
spikes
completely
are
also
closer to
very
Barry's.
in tribute, but Barry is now retired, so there's a tribute to Barry, plus Wally's own very unique take on the Flash costume, which he has always had.
Yes, because as we all know, Wally loved costumes with weird, awkward black spaces all over his abdominal area.
Yeah, that's why he was always into Donna. It was a whole
You-
it was a
you
whole
go-
costume thing.
Dump in a lake, sir.
Let's face it,
Black
Most of
costumes
the
that
Teen
are
Titans
void
were
and
into
like
Donna.
sparkly. What?
most of the Teen Titans were into Donna.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
except Dick.
Except
that
Dick.
has nothing to do with the lame excuse I was trying to use.
Dick was never into Donna.
Well, that we
Well,
know
That
of.
came
I
out
mean,
wrong.
maybe he was never into Donna, but he might have been. I'm sorry.
He's like looking into Titans After Dark.
What was the name of the baby daddy?
Baby Daddy.
Donna's baby daddy.
Donna's baby
Terry
daddy.
Long?
Terry Long, yeah.
Gross.
Oh, tell us how you really feel.
No one likes Terry Long.
No one likes Terry Long. No
I
one
think
likes the
Marv
idea of
Wolfman
Titans
likes
After
Terry
Dark,
Long.
where Nightwing goes from Nightwing to Nightstick.
Oh Jesus.
Oh.
Oh God. Anyway. Fuck. Okay. Stop it. I'm trying to get out of that now because I have more things I want to say about that, but I shouldn't. We need to stop saying
Exactly.
jokes about the Teen Titans because it's wrong.
They're not the Teen Titans anymore.
Yeah, but they were.
In any case, how did you guys feel about the Flash?
Costume side, I did enjoy this issue.
Yes. Costume sucks. Book gets an 8.5.
8 out of 10 for me. Very fun. And I did we see? No, I feel like we saw Warlord in. Was that the last issue or issue 14? We saw him in action.
I don't think that we saw him in action. I think we
Yeah.
saw him in the background.
But yeah, no, that was, I don't know, that. Well, there was a lot of stuff that sold me on the issue. I love any writer that will utilize Weather Wizard, especially in such a weird fantasy
Good way. Yeah, that
but,
was cool.
But yeah, no, seeing Warlord show up at the end, just with like the crazy plasma bow and sword, was kind of awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
Rob's prediction aside, I mean, the only thing I can equate it to is looking like he's infected by the Black Mercy or some shit. But
Did
Yeah, I
anybody
gave it-
else give it like find it cool or get the sense in your head that when he first showed up, he was all like medieval voice and like be fare thee well and be still, young sir, you are safe now. And then like after Jay goes, oh my God, who is that? He was like, oh, don't worry, I'm just a pilot.
Yeah.
And he just like switches on a dime to like his original voice, like.
Mhm.
No more hero voice. It's okay. Like, did anybody else get that vibe? Because I certainly did.
From where was this?
At the end of this issue.
I don't remember him having like the kind of pompous, refined voice, but maybe I gotta look at the dialogue.
It's just it was just the way his dialogue was when he first showed up. It just sounded like he was being all major hero, and then a couple panels later when he was talking to Jay about how he was from Earth. He was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm just a normal guy."
Huh.
That's the vibe I got. I thought it was interesting.
He is just a normal guy. That's a
Yeah.
hero. That's what
Yeah.
makes all our heroes great.
Yeah. Or green.
Or green, indeed.
To be rather pointed.
Okay. I see that we're talking about Green Lantern this week, so let me just pull up my notes here, make sure I get the right issue.
Speaking of weird costumes,
Party har
Green
har
Lantern.
har.
Oh my
Green
god.
Lantern. Yeah. Anyway, no, we're not talking about Green Lantern. At least not this week. We're
No.
talking about, I think we can all agree, the best green themed hero. Sorry, to but
I don't know
I
about
think we
that.
all know that Green Arrow is the best green themed hero in the DC universe.
I think Hal would have some issues with that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would argue over it and then go to
Yeah.
a boxing match or something.
Clearly the best is Kyle.
Ka?
Kyle.
Ka?
Clearly the best is Kyle.
Well, clearly you're wrong because Kyle is still
No
a White
longer
Lantern?
green.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No matter what color ring is on his finger, he will always be green at heart.
Just like Nightwing will always be a Robin.
Nope.
Yep.
Ha!
Nope.
Your own logic is against you.
God
That is ludicrous.
dang it.
Green Arrow, number 19. Part 2 of Freshwater Kills is written by Chris Condon with art from Montos, colors from Adriano Lucas, and letters from Hassan Otsmane Elhau. Ollie has teamed up with Detective Benitez, to investigate the most recent murder by the Freshwater Killer, which takes him to some fancy schmancy like mansion or wherever the hell this is to investigate exactly how the senator was killed. Ollie gets told off by one of the older cops before getting access to look at the tapes, and basically comes to the conclusion that even though they have all this footage of the Freshwater Killer, they never actually saw him escape or never actually saw them escape. And Ollie realizes very quickly that he's still in the house and has been hiding out the whole time, which coincidentally is around the time that Detective Benitez heads outside to walk her dog. And of course, as they're checking the camera, like right out of a freaking horror movie cliche, she gets
The
attacked
call's
by
coming from inside
Freshwater
the
Killer.
house.
Yeah, literally. So Ollie runs off quick as he can, fires a bow that just very nearly, does not fire a bow, or at least gets ready for his shot, and then manages, I don't know, the sequence was a little confusing, because I wasn't sure if he, after the Freshwater Killer attacked Detective Benitez and the dog attacks the Freshwater Killer, I wasn't sure exactly what was going on there, but it looks like he was able to get a shot off. Take down the killer, knock off the mask, and that's when they reveal the identity of the killer, who then begins to apologize. And that's where our issue comes to an end. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really loving this arc so far. Great art, great mystery, and I feel like Condon's characterization of Ollie is exactly the right amount of stubborn, but also incredibly opinionated. So, really solid start, or solid continuation of this arc.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you there. This is awesome. I honestly don't care what anybody thinks either. The personality is spot on, but also seeing a full body shot of Green Arrow and seeing him in a hood with that damn little mini cape and the quiver that's built into it is just awesome. I love it. I need a McFarlane figure that looks like that with a posable cape, please. That's awesome, and so is having him at these ground level stories. I'm really loving Green Arrow now. This is how we ollie, folks. This is how we ollie, and it looks good, right? And it looks good while it is doing it. 8.5 out of 10.
Hell yeah. I pretty much agree with everything y'all have already said. I don't really have much more else to say because everything I was going to say, y'all covered it. It is a fun issue. It's getting more interesting as the story goes on, as most mysteries do. I am digging the Green Arrow costume. The new one is quite nice, though. Be honest, I do still miss the Rebirth costume because that was my favorite. But this is a nice touch. It's like an amalgamation of various costumes from his history.
Mm-hmm.
Very, like, it's got inspiration from various other ones. Maybe, and don't hate me if I overstep here. A very Longbow Hunters inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Would you
definitely.
say? Yeah.
I mean, maybe not so much with the cape, but it definitely, it's got the same vibe.
Maybe
In
that's
that-
why I like it.
Yeah, and that Longbow Hunters also featured a
Yeah.
costume that very much stripped
This is
down
how we
from
are.
the kind
Yep.
of flamboyant 70s costume. Well, I mean, not flamboyant's not the right word, but I'd say, yeah, definitely was more like simplified than the costume from the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
This one kind of feels like that.
Yeah, it's a fun time though. It really is, and it's got some pretty interesting action in it as well. So, 8.5 for this one for me as well.
Right on art, story, character, and lots of action.
Yes, in a comic.
Much like our next book.
Just
Ah,
like our next book.
ha, ha, ha.
Sounded like it was an ad read, but there you go.
For ads, get out of my screen, you bastard! Jesus. All right, I'm trying to find okay, here it is. Jesus, ads. Okay, sorry. Action Comics number 1081. This is the finale to Phantoms, part 12 of week 12. Written by Mark Waid with art from Clayton Henry, colors from Matt Herms, and letters from Dave Sharp, with the cover from Clayton Henry and Tomu Mori. As a really
Looks
cool cover.
really cool cover.
I love it. Yeah. Seeing all the villains surrounding him, and which is essentially Phantom's own prisms. If I think that's what
there's
it's called, right?
something.
Or the whatever you call
The
them.
diamonds or whatever.
Crystals.
Crystals.
But there's something about this cover that feels very classic and familiar to me, and I don't know what it is, but it is. Is this an homage to something by any chance?
Don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't believe so.
Because normally, if it's an homage, they'll after where they assign their name, they'll say after so and so.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
it's damn.
Yeah, it's really good. With all of Superman's most fearsome foes, minus a
Indeed.
couple.
Mhm.
All right, so the Super Fam have regrouped to try and figure out their next moves to try and capture the remaining Phantom Zone escapees. Mon-El, again, is determined to help out, but Clark insists that since his protective device is failing, he does not want to see him die, and he will never stop looking for the cure. So Mon-El regretfully agrees to head back into the Phantom Zone. And as he disappears, this is when the Super Family gets attacked by all the escapees at the same time, and they are outnumbered at least 2-1. So they are taken down fairly quickly and then brought to a floating orbital platform on the outskirts of Earth atmosphere, where they are met by Zadu. And this orbital platform is a device that was constructed by Zadu with the help of the Phantom Zone escapees, which, once it's activated by heat vision, will teleport. No, sorry, it won't teleport. It will explode with the power of Krypton's explosion. the same energy signature, if you will, and with that will irradiate the super family all at once, basically killing them almost instantly, but elementally also transforming them into kryptonite. So it's a very disturbing horror. Very, very fucked up. They do ask Zadu how he escaped, and he tells a story of how he clawed his way through the portal of time and made his way to the present day, trying to crack his way through all sorts of time periods, and eventually clawing his way to the present. And during that, he had the time to build this machine. But this is when a portal opens up behind him, and out pops Zadu, the real Zadu, and this is when that Zadu throws the fake Zadu onto the ground and is revealed to actually be Martian Manhunter.
Not
and
this
then,
Zadu.
Not this Zadu. Not that Zadu. That Zadu. And that's when Superman says, okay, everybody go.
Who's
It's
your
all
daddy and
been-
what does Zadu?
Oh my god. So this is all a trick from the Kryptonian family to gather all the escapees to one spot. The platform is an actual machine, but it's not the machine that will simulate Krypton's explosion, but instead is a Phantom Zone projector that, once it's activated by heat vision, will send all the escapees back to the Phantom Zone. They do that, and Superman gets the upper hand on Zadu, sending him back as well. So everyone is back in the Phantom Zone, and the Earth and universe is safe once and for all. Back at the Fortress of Solitude, Kara reveals to the family and Superman specifically that the Kandorians have agreed to the terms that they have for spoke. Is that a word? Put forth.
Fake.
Forsake. I don't know, but forsake is like not what I was going for.
I was thinking forspake, but I don't know. What that's
Forsake.
Forspoke.
Forspoken.
Yeah.
And forspoken.
The
Yes.
Video game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyway, the terms and conditions that they laid on the table for signature. They agreed in that since all the Phantom Zone prisoners are there once more, all solid matter is inert, and there's now a warden within there, which will, keep an eye on the zoners, and if any seem to have any sort of desire to change and become a good person again, then maybe, just maybe, they will be offered redemption. And be allowed to enter into Kandor and live as a civilized person. But that's all for now. Then the family fly away to their next adventure, and that's where the story ends. That's it for Action Comics Weekly, but it will be back next month with Major Disaster, both the character and the figure of speech.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No fridges.
Please God, no.
Major Force.
Yeah, Major Force. Wrong guy. My bad. Whoops.
Yeah.
He was on the Justice League at one point, I think. In like the Joe
Maybe.
Kelly run with JLA.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who Major Disaster is, actually.
I want to no, that was like the like 2004 or something. Maybe earlier than that. Don't really remember what his power set was, but
Major
I just
Disaster.
remember him being a part of that
Comic book character.
lineup of the
Maybe
Justice League.
maybe
what is
earthquake
that called?
powers.
Gil Kane, Gardner Fox.
Not Rock of Ages. What am I thinking of? Oh, the Obsidian Age, I think is what that arc is called. The one where Nightwing leads the Justice League. Yes, it is the Obsidian.
Right?
Yeah.
He is an enemy to Green Lantern, though. Apparently. And who caused natural disasters.
That would make sense.
Yeah, oddly enough. Anyway, in our backup, the final part of this story as well. This is Supergirl in Sentence, written by Mariko Tamaki with art from Skylar Patridge, colors from Marissa Louise, and letters from Becca Carey. So the two beings have fused together. The brother and sister, destroyer and savior, have become one person yet again. Kara comes to terms with this and makes sure that everything is okay with them, and then reports to the United Planets Thanagar outpost as to what happened in her mission. The prisoner has been returned to its cell, and there is a new judge taking position on the courts, which is the robot that helped her on her own mission, Supergirl's mission. Um, at the end of it all, the mission is complete. She heads back to Earth and has a nice walk in the park with Power Girl Paige to try and figure out maybe why Supergirl was chosen out of everybody. And she reveals that she thinks it had something to do with Krypton and what it means to understand something beyond devastation. That something good can come out of pain, something greater and longer lasting. So in the end, the two Supergirls fly off together as a promise. So Supergirl's daring adventures will continue in 2025. So that's how that ends. The backup finally coming to an end is not as big of a story as I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be a lot more of a purpose to it, but it was really just a nice meaning. It was really just like a simple story of Supergirl seeing how something good could come out of devastation. Why that was a lesson she needed to be taught, I don't know.
Well, I think it was more a lesson of, excuse me. I think it was more a lesson of her being used to having two very different sides of her. One that is capable of ripping a person in half, and the other one who likes to cuddle kittens.
Yeah.
Those are two very true things about Supergirl.
Yes.
So I think that is what the connection between Supergirl and Fear and Death was.
I even that though, I still don't understand why this is a lesson that would be taught now. So
I think
deep into her hero career, I feel like it's something she would have learned a long time ago.
Was it a lesson that she needed to learn, or a mission that only Supergirl could have done?
It still feels weird. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I just don't get it. I don't know. I need to reread it then to figure that out, because I thought the whole thing was about learning.
No, I don't think it was. It was a mission that only Supergirl would be able to pull off, and I think that's because most people would have either one just executed the prisoner, made sure that happened immediately, or two felt super sorry for the prisoner and let them go away. It would have been a clear-cut hero thing. And Kara knows that there's no such thing, and understood that there's, they were two sides of the same coin, much like she is, much like her and Paige are, and much like Fear and Death were. Symbolic. I don't think it's meant to go deeply huge, but
fair enough. I think I would have been more exciting if it was Matrix, but that's just me. That would have been insane.
Need to get that story going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, still, it's a nice little Supergirl adventure. I'm excited to see more in 2025 with Supergirl. Maybe Mariko Tamaki's got some more stories up her sleeve. The end of Phantoms was quite an interesting little play. I like that Jean was involved in it. I like when Jean pals around with the super family, even though he's not a Kryptonian. He definitely, when he's there, feels like a member of the super family. To a certain degree, similar power set, similar strength. Alien on Earth. He always felt like he was like the distant cousin of that family, So I always like to see that kind of pairing. It was very simple to the point, very straightforward. They captured the remaining escapees, and that was it. There wasn't too much of a struggle, but it was a nice little back and forth. I liked it. I'm gonna give this issue an 8.5 as well.
Nice. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. It did feel a little, maybe just a little, I don't know, rushed. There was something about it that felt almost abrupt. I can't really describe it.
For which one?
For the main story.
Okay.
Yeah, the backup, I was kind of expecting that, mostly because I felt like the more I thought about it, the more this felt like, because I was thinking of the Power Girl backup stories, the Power Girl versus Johnny Sarah backup stories from a while ago, where she ended up getting the special and then the ongoing series. And I couldn't help but think that maybe this was their version of that, and that they had the Supergirl special from Mariko Tamaki and Skylar Patridge, and then this backstory or backup story, and then all of that would lead into an ongoing sometime this year. It didn't really feel overwhelming so much as this was kind of a way to get Kara into a certain headspace that will then carry her into an ongoing series. So I didn't really mind that ending as much, but the main story, cool. At least, it did feel, I don't know, there was something that felt like maybe I was expecting more from Superman's fight with Zadu, or something about how the rest of the Kryptonian prisoners were locked up. I don't know. Something just felt a little abrupt. So I ended up giving it a 7.75 out of 10. Like, I enjoyed it. And it's sad to see the story go, but there's something that felt a little unsettled with me.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think both of these ended perfectly for what they were supposed to be. It's cool to see Kara and Paige being close. And while it's a bummer that Mon-El goes back to the Phantom Zone, let's be honest, it's a little Krypton crowded in the DC universe.
Actually, I had a question about that. I'm sure Mark Waid would know, but there's something that, I don't know, there's something that kind of bothered me about that, because if we're assuming that most of Superman's past has been restored, at least some of the post-Infinite Crisis stuff, that means that Superman has his past with the Legion of Superheroes as Superboy, which we know featured Mon-El. So I guess my question is, like, obviously it's sad to see Mon-El go back to the Phantom Zone, but we know at a certain point that he's going to team up with the Legion of Superheroes. So it's,
or has he already? Because it was when Superman was Superboy. That's already happened.
Well, yeah, it's in the future. And even if Superman were to go back to the 31st century, like, Mon-El would, I think, still be a part of that Legion lineup. They're not really clear on which Legion is currently in this timeline. So I don't know. I guess that was a little confusing to me, because I'm like, I mean, yeah, obviously it's sad that he has to go back to the Phantom Zone, but you could just go to the future and see him again. I know it would be a while, but I'm sure you remember.
Well, same.
That's where I'm confused on the timeline as well, because when did he go to the future? When he was a teenager?
That's the thing. To be honest, I don't really remember, because I thought it was when he was an adult.
Yeah, and I thought he went to the future because they had the cure in the future. And then he just stayed there.
Whoa, what?
Time travel.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
It's all fucked. Yeah.
Remember when Mon-El was briefly Superman and was protecting Metropolis?
No.
That was cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I do actually remember that. It was interesting. That was during New Krypton, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. But that just means I'll have to investigate it.
Look up the New Krypton story and be disappointed like the rest of us.
There's some interesting stuff, but yeah, overall, it's I like the Flamebird and Nightwing stuff, but that's probably because it's Red Rekka.
Yeah.
Well, I like it when you guys step all over my transitions. Detective Comics 1092.
Did you give your score for action?
Yeah.
Oh. I was waiting for that. I didn't even catch that.
I gave it an 8.5 an 8. Excuse me.
Right.
I've been super happy with it. But I'm Tess. Written by Tom Taylor with art and colors inside and out from Mikkel Yanin and lettering from Wes Abbott. The female Talon that ended last issue starts up with this one, and to do what? Why, kill Kaya, of course, and she does. Batman and Damian show up to investigate the murder, and the others show up as well, and some others show up as well. After some ass whooping and some help from Oracle, he finds out who they are, and that they work for the same people that gave him the serum that is improving his body and fighting the age breakdown. Something that he's still studying and has yet to get to the bottom of. Naturally, Scarlet, the girl that recruited Bruce into the serum program, is trouble. We find that out naturally after he sleeps with her, as Batman is wont to do. He finds out that she's in dirty business with the prison system and may be directly behind the murder of Kai. God, I love Mikkel's art. It's just so damn good. So damn good. The team is great together, and the story I'm getting out of them completely different from the last thing that we saw in Detective, but it's still just as good. It's definitely on my monthly must-read and suggest list. I think this is great stuff. 8 out of 10.
Agreed. It's been a very interesting story. Stuff with Robin in the background is also very, very exciting. To try to help out people in need. Again, looking like we're seeing Robin grow through his teenage years, both in this and in the Batman and Robin book.
This one's better, and you know it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, this one's got some more interesting stuff to it, and I'm really liking this. We're finally seeing a dark side to Batman's choices here, despite the fact that he was told to do it by all of his friends and family. We all knew there was going to be a downside, and well, here it is. Now Batman is using blood.
Blood.
Yes, blood taken by blood.
Blood.
It's like blood money, but it's blood.
Right, or blood diamonds, but it's blood.
Exactly. Blood. Yeah. It's bloody blood. Anyway, now this issue is going to get, honestly, for me, a 9. I'm really digging this.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this write-up for Mon-El is so fucking confusing. I don't even know.
It's still on last
what's
issue.
going on. It's bugging me. Yeah, no, it's Detective Comics. I don't know, it's cool.
More confusing, Mon-El's history or Donna Troy's history?
Whoa.
Well, Donna's history isn't so much confusing as there's just a lot of retcons, and no one really knows which one's true. But if you know,
or why?
Well, no, it's more like, yeah, there are multiple origins. The point of contention is which one is true.
The one that we just got.
That's sort of the point. It's which one is that? No one really knows.
The most recent one.
They didn't expand upon that. You're talking about I assume you're talking about the Tales of the Titan one, which makes reference possibly to the Donna was saved from the fire origin, but that origin has also been implied to be a fantasy or planted memory, or it just straight up didn't happen and Donna was cloned from a mirror. Getting way off topic, by the way. But the point is, if you know all the different origins, they're not so much confusing as no one really knows which one is accurate. This shit is literally just like Mon-El was part of the Legion who came back in the recent JSA run, and also there's another character called Mon-El who was just in the Action Comics run that we finished.
So it's two different Mon-Els?
What the fuck does that? What do you mean there are two different Mon-Els?
Okay, is it possible that the Mon-El in the Legion is actually from the 31st century? Is a Daxamite from the 31st century that was inspired by Mon-El of the 20th century?
Well, it couldn't be because most of, I mean, unless it's a.
There's been more interactions than this.
But most origins of Mon-El joining the Legion are he was rescued from the Phantom Zone because, like you said, they had discovered a cure for his lead poisoning. So that's why I'm like, it couldn't be just some random Daxamite who's like, I love Mon-El, I'm gonna dress up just like him. I don't know. Oh yeah, Detective Comics. Yeah, Detective Comics. It's pretty good.
It's
Pretty
no
good.
Mon-El, but
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I will give it an 8.25 out of 10.
Great stuff.
Josh, I'm gonna like. I don't blame Brandon for being stuck on Action Comics. I'm gonna blame you because you haven't changed the cover.
Oh, that's my bad.
That's on you.
Yeah,
This is Detective.
yeah. And
Great.
now,
Get a good look at it because we got to change it now. Okay, ready? Missy Batman, bye.
We just talked about Superman. Why are we talking about Superman again? I'm tired
Because
of Superman.
we're talking about Mon-El.
they're trying to Batman Superman. That's
I
what's
don't
going
want
on
to talk
here.
about Mon-El anymore. I'm confused.
No, we're not talking about World's Finest. We're talking about Superman.
We're talking about Superman.
Yeah,
But we just talked about Superman.
not Batman. Superman.
Not Batman Superman or regular Superman full of action. This is regular Superman full of date.
And Doomsday.
It has
And Doomsday.
Superman in it.
Superman full of Doomsday. No, that's not a good date.
The cover of the book said Superman.
Superman
action
full
comic.
of date. Not a good Doomsday. It said what?
It said Superman Action Comics. That one also had Superman in the title. So my question to you is, why are we talking about Superman again?
It does say
I want to talk about literally anything else.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about Lois Lane. And Brandon, take it away.
Well, the book should be called Lois Lane or Superwoman.
Wait, whoa. Why it has to be gender specific?
Why?
A man can't be a woman? I'm just fucking with you, dude, but I don't
I'm
know how to
fucking with you.
I don't know how to transition.
We're fucking with each other, and I think it's just
Logan
devolving into
identifies
chaos.
as a female.
Yes, you're right. This is Superman and Superwoman in Super Date Night in
Super-
Superman number 21, written by Super Joshua Williamson.
I'm a Superman.
Super Dan Mora, colors by Super Alejandro Sanchez, and letters by Super Ariana Mar. Recapped by Super Brandon, which actually was a childhood superhero name for myself.
Of course it was.
Right.
Super Date Night.
As it should be.
Basically, this issue is exactly as it sounds. Clark and Lois are.
Jesus.
Excuse you. Oh, goodness.
Excuse me, thought that was muted. My bad.
Oh my god.
God damn.
Yeah. Clark and Lois go
So
on a
sorry.
super date. Basically, to take Clark's mind off of everything that had been going down with Doomsday, or at least these dates, these different dates they go on, are attempts to kind of distract him from everything that he'd been worried about with Doomsday. But unfortunately, it's not really working. So as they find themselves in what is it, the Gem World, Superman is just kind of reflecting on everything, really, and the fact that he's still thinking about Doomsday. He's still thinking about the red kryptonite that was grafted into his body by Dr. Farm and Dr. Graft, and really everything that has continued to haunt him, but in particular, the Time Trapper's message about him basically having to kill him, or, having to basically remain alive for infinity, and having to watch all of his loved ones die.
The immortal curse.
The immortal curse, which is a recurring theme in quite a few Superman comics. But before Clark can continue to wax poetic about how sad he is that he has to make this decision, they're called into action by Amethyst to basically help out in a war against the House of Onyx. So they make their way over to the conflict and do their best to hold it off. But thankfully, they're able to reach a truce, or at least House Amethyst and House Onyx are able to reach a truce. thanks to the timely words of one Lois Lane, who was able to, I guess, convince the both of them that they really want peace this whole time and are able to come to some kind of compromise. So their last stop on their date is back to good old Smallville, Kansas, home of Superboy and also the world's best breakfast burritos.
Of course.
Clark is obviously still kind of upset and thinking about all the Doomsday / Time Trapper stuff, but Lois tells him not to worry because, handle it together, and that really the thing that was missing from their date was just them hanging out as Lois and Clark, not as Superwoman and Superman, respectively. But that small moment of peace is short-lived as a bunch of giant warships show up in Earth's atmosphere, and they rush back to Metropolis to come face-to-face with an organization calling themselves the Aftermath and demanding that they turn over Doomsday to them, or they will kill everyone on planet Earth.
You will do what you are told.
Yes. Next issue, what do you do with a monster like Doomsday? No, I'm not going to sing that to the tune of The Sound of Music. One, because why would I do that? And two, because I can't sing. This issue is...
What about to the Klondike commercial?
I'm not going to do that either.
What would you do to fight a Doomsday?
I also don't know if it fits that well.
I don't know.
There you go.
So crunchy.
Bob, back me up here. You're a theater guy.
What do you want from me?
Right.
Huh?
You're the theater guy. I'm sure you could sing some Sound of Music.
Can you sing Sound of Music?
The Sound of Music. Shit. No. I don't know any songs for Sound of Music.
Doomsday is alive
Yeah.
because of heavy metal music.
The hills are destroyed by Doomsday.
There you go. So Superman 21. Date issue. I'm sure Josh is screaming, both because it's and also because it's written by Joshua Williamson. But I happen to love this issue because it was a nice,
I've been fair lately.
cool down.
Somebody forgot.
You have been. It's surprising,
Yes.
actually.
But it's still
You
a date
changed that.
issue.
That's
And
true.
You've been an outcrier of hating date issues.
I because they're horrible. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, but no, this one was a great example of just slowing things down and having some great character work, and that's exactly what this issue was. Just giving us some time between Clark and Lois to have their date, but also kind of reflect on what they're going through right now. What with Lois still being editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet, and Clark, of course, dealing with all the Doomsday and Time Trapper stuff. So it was nice to just have those moments between the two and really just kind of show how wonderful their relationship is, how much they rely on each other, and also how open they can be with each other. So I really dug it. And do I even need to say anything about Dan Morris artwork in this issue? Like, come on.
Yes.
Just read the fucking book. You don't need me to say anything. Look at like all of the...
You don't even have to read it to appreciate the art.
Yeah.
Look at the cover
You don't even
alone.
need to- look at the cover
know.
alone. It's phenomenal. It's the greatest thing you've ever seen, maybe.
Exactly.
Oh, and if I can just drop a pop in here for Jessica Fong, her variant cover for this was awesome.
Oh, nice. Hopefully it's less risque than the Poison Ivy covers. I had to stop.
It very much
getting
is.
nasty looks. Getting nasty looks at the comic store because they thought I was some kind of weird pervert.
Be like, what are you
You
pervert?
studied
Try
your
reading a
novel?
good written book.
And it's not my fault. They were the main covers. The variant covers are always more expensive. But anyway, no, this issue was awesome. Easy 8.5 out of 10 for me. And like I said, the art from Dan Mora really does speak for itself. Even the quiet moments. There are a few interludes here where we can check in with Jimmy and Silver Banshee and Lex and Mercy. Doomsday, of course. And all of that stuff is just phenomenal. Like, just small little check-ins, but executed perfectly. So, love this issue.
Did anybody else get the vibe that maybe new forgetful Lex is starting to have some emotional connection?
He's trying to catch feelings.
Yeah.
Has caught feelings.
Like he caught a coffee?
He said,
coffee.
"Hey,
Yeah.
have
Hey.
mercy."
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I don't know even if he's not, Mercy definitely is. He's like, you know my coffee.
Well, I mean, come on now. Mercy obviously always has.
I don't know.
I mean,
That
definitely
boss employee
respected Lex.
respect. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was romance, but now that Lex has grown himself a nice beard, he's kind of calmed down a little bit.
I don't know, man.
Coffee
I
order.
get
I
that.
think Mercy's
I didn't
like,
think you ever noticed.
I think Mercy's
That
like,
felt like a little bit more than, "Hey, cool, nice beard, bro."
I mean, sometimes maybe, in some continuities. But like in Smallville, she was his sister. So like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Which makes it okay, obviously.
Because you're in Kansas. No. No.
no.
No.
Anyway. Meanwhile, on Gem World.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was a very fun issue. I like this one. It didn't feel so much like a date issue as opposed to just like a check-in on where Clark and Lois are at mentally and like just almost emotionally with everything that's going on. Even though it was backdropped with a date, it did have plot relevance and quite a lot of it. And the little interludes were a nice little comedic touch at times, especially interweaving with all everything that Clark and Lois were talking about at the time. And finishing it all off in Smallville was a very nice personal touch. I really liked it, and like Brendan said, need I say anything about the art? No, I will not, because I've said it all before. Dan Mora rocks.
Dan Mora is the Rock. He's just the Rock of art. He's the chef's kiss. His lines, his everything. You can pair any good colorist with Dan Mora, and you're going to walk away with phenomenal artwork.
Yep.
This felt like a full Williamson comic when I got to the second interlude. Like, it felt like I had read a full Joshua Williamson comic when I got to the Doomsday part.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know
that felt like I got that's all the content I would have typically got out of a Joshua Williamson comic book, but there was more, so I mean that's a good thing. It's got some really good layers to it. If the arc is done right, if the whole story is done right, this is me saying this. The story has Clark dealing with Lois being Superwoman as she does, as she's experienced, dealing with it as well. Doomsday being kept under close watch on Earth, barely controlled by the Black Mercy, not something they have 100% control over. Another suicidal Doomsday that wants to die so they can become a god. A whole damn space fleet ready to drop bombs on Mom Spaghetti. This is a serious Superman story with Doomsday on 3 different sides of it. This can go one of three ways. Either this is going to be a very mid-feeling story when it's completely done, like a typical Joshua Williamson story, no real changes. It's going to flop so bad he's going to be known for it, or if done right, this single story could potentially cement Williamson into being one of the greats. This is that kind of a story in my personal opinion. This story has that kind of potential. He's written the setup for all of that incredibly well, exceptionally well. This is a really big football for him to fumble. I hope he doesn't drop it. I can't help I have certain expectations, but my fingers really are crossed for the guy. This issue gets an 8 out of 10 from me.
I go into a Doomsday story every time with no expectations, and then I always kind of Even if the story's bad, at least I'm a little bit satisfied.
The build up,
Doomsday's hit or miss.
the build up, and the involvement and the layers of the Doomsday story. This can't be treated like
What was
a villain of the week.
What was the last Doomsday story we had?
I want to say it was Super Doom, but I feel like there was another one.
Was that,
Well, is
when
just straight up Doomsday, or are we counting the various Doomsday-esque forms that are out there?
Both, I guess.
Like Doombreaker?
Yeah, because he was around
No, yeah.
with Dan Jurgens in 2021, I think it was.
Yeah, no, more like classic Doomsday, not.
The last time that we saw him was when he was in hell.
I meant
getting trapped there
major
with
story.
That's been a long ass time, over a decade, I think. Is it? Am I wrong?
That's the thing, I don't remember.
So probably is Super Doom was the last one.
Yeah.
When was
If
Super
you
Doom?
want to count that, I think it was about 10 years ago. I think it was 2014.
Yeah, no, that was Doom, wasn't it?
Doom, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Then we're all about on the same page.
I thought that was him turning into. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go through that again, but I could have sworn that was like him turning into a Doomsday like creature or something.
Well, he did, but there was also a Doomsday there.
Yeah.
He fought a Doomsday, and then he turned into a Doomsday, and then he died.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
It was some other. I mean, it might have just been an appearance, some other story, like towards the end of War of this event. I gotta check that real quick, but anyway.
Yeah.
It has been a while.
It's been a minute. I'm
Right?
gonna give this one a 9.25 out of 10.
9.25 out of 10, he says with a question mark. Is it because you wish your score could be unlimited? Just kidding.
Maybe.
Did I already give my score? 8 out of 10. Yes.
8 out of 10.
9.25 out of 10. It is that time already. Time to get unlimited.
Yes. It's time to
Yeah.
get Justice League Unlimited. Cue the theme
And
song.
keeping up on the Dan Mora hype train.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just look at it. Do you see it?
I see it.
It's horror and pretty at the same time.
Yeah.
That is hard to do. That's hard to do.
I'm trying to remember the Justice League theme song now, but it's on the tip of my brain.
Something like that.
Yeah, but I can't get like the whole tune. Just
Well, there's.
I'll give me.
There it is. But that's the unlimited theme, right? What was the original theme? I can't even remember that right now.
I think it was very similar, wasn't it?
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice, I can't remember any of the theme songs right now.
Yeah. Anyway, this is written by Mark Waid. This is written by Mark Waid with art from Dan Mora, colors from Tamara Bonvillain, and letters from Ariana Maher, with the cover from Dan Mora. This is Justice League Unlimited number 2, and we open with poor Jaime Reyes calling out for Batman very weakly as he gets dragged away by some mysterious creatures. And his armor is failing. Goddamn, he better not be dead. Meanwhile,
no, he better not be.
Costa Rica, he just graduated, man.
I'm freaking saying, and saved the whole world
twice,
and in an entire another civilization
twice.
Freaking jerks.
I love Mark Waid. I love Mark Waid stories, but goddamn, he's killing Jaime Reyes and he's turning Airwave into a villain. I'm not liking this series so far.
You cannot trust Mark Waid and a character that wears green and or purple. I've been telling you this for 2 years. Sooner or later, you're bound to listen.
What is going on with your audio right
Yeah,
now?
why are you like shouting into the
You're
mic? You're like, excuse me, can I take your order, please?
No.
Yeah,
Oh my god. You sound like
What the fuck?
like those early
I think I might
gamers
have
or
to
something?
replace my microphone because I keep on having to turn the volume up and down to
It
maintain the same level.
It's just you got super close to it
Yeah.
Oh,
and spoke really loudly.
Yeah.
well,
That's
my
all.
bad.
Very odd.
And you sounded like a mid-90s speaker box at a drive-thru, except a little more legible.
Welcome to Good Burger.
But if you're doing good burgers, welcome to Good Burger. Home to Good Burger. Gotta be a little more stoner. Anyway, I agree with you for a certain bit about, okay, you can't trust people in green and purple, but Airwave has been a hero for longer than any of us have been alive.
Ish.
Actually, what year were you born?
79.
79. Yeah, longer than any of us have been alive. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Green Lantern
but
100 came out before
Can't
you.
say that's been consistent. And again, it's all up to the writer, and you can't trust Mark Waid with somebody that's in green and or purple. That's just hard coded in him. He's a classic comic book writer. It
What's the
means
purple?
villain.
What are you wearing?
Me, I'm wearing red.
Oh.
With
Okay,
a little
what are you
green
wearing?
eye. I need space.
Brandon, are you wearing green and or purple?
I am wearing neither. I'm wearing blue and gray.
Wow.
This is what Mark Waid should never touch the Green Lanterns.
I guess
Why
there
do
was
I
that
feel like
one
he
time
already
that he had Supergirl awkwardly flirting with Hal in Brave and Bold, but
No.
you know,
See? Told
that's
you.
left unsaid.
Yeah, but that's also like, for a lot of people, that's just Hal's MO. Because a lot of people can't get over the Arisia rap stuff.
I think it was more comfortable because he had to keep reminding himself that Supergirl was very underage.
Yeah.
It was like, nope.
No, she can't age herself up like Arisia. Don't do it. Anyway.
And you
Claim the
and you
excuse
shouldn't have done Arisia.
I'm 30
Stop
on
it.
my planet.
Stop it.
Yeah. Anywho, in Monteverde, Costa Rica, the police are trying to get some people to stay home past curfew because of monsters. The people just kind of laugh it off until they are attacked by said monsters, parademons to be exact. This is when the Justice League boom tombs their way in.
Not more than a pair of them.
Nope. Damn it. This version of the Justice League, this unlimited version of the Justice League, includes Superman, Wonder Woman, Black Lightning, Martian Manhunter, Mary Marvel, Star Sapphire, and Dr. Occult.
Yeah.
What?
It actually took me
He
a
is
second.
taking a break from the trench.
This is why I love this book already.
Yeah.
He's taking a break from the trench coat brigade and trying to kill little kids, and he's decided to help the world for a change.
Yeah.
As you do.
Right? I legit, when I saw the roster, I was like, who the fuck is that? He looks familiar, but who the fuck is that? Is that Slam Bradley? Like, and I turned the page and I saw the medal. I'm like, oh, that's definitely not Slam Bradley. Who the fuck is this guy? But yeah, no, Dr. Occult. Batman was already there on sites as he appears later on, a little bit torn up and bloody because he was already attacked. He's a lost Blue Beetle and he corrals the Justice League, splitting them up into different teams, some to take down parademons, some to find missing children, and some to protect the citizens. Meanwhile, in Singapore, a man in torn pants has grown in size, quite literally has increased his stature. And this is when Atom Smasher arrives with the two Atoms, Ryan Choi and Ray Palmer. And together, they are able to take this man down. This man has taken Atom Smasher's powers after the whole events of Absolute Power. Atom Smasher was able to get them back thanks to the machine that the two Atoms had devised. It does cause some discomfort and pain. I say some, but then Atom Smasher says it was excruciating, so quite a lot of pain. But now he's got his power back. The man is back to normal, and the atoms trying to figure out what to do next because the machine exploded. And as Ray says, if we're going to start to put all these superpowers back, we're going to need the help of another atom.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
continued in
Dun,
Justice
dun,
League,
dun.
the Atom Project.
Whoa.
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 Even though it didn't say it there, that's just where it fucking goes.
That's where it goes.
Yeah, it should have said, if you want to see more about this, read Justice League the Atom Project. It didn't say that in text box, but that's where it's intending.
Yep.
It's where it's going.
It's where we're all going.
Yeah. Okay, Heath Ledger, Jesus. Anyway. Back on the Watchtower. Mr. Terrific is trying to figure out what this whole thing about Inferno is, and even questions Red Tornado about an android by the name of Red Inferno. So I'm happy to see that, because that's a callback to a Red Tornado miniseries that I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I feel does not get enough recognition. I feel like nobody fucking read. But I liked it.
He's a fun character, and his minis are usually at least decent stories.
Yes. But this one had Red Inferno, Red Tornado, Red Water Person, and Red...
Was it Red Typhoon?
Red
Yes.
Typhoon, maybe, and something to do with the Earth. Red...
No, not Red Typhoon. Red
Torrent?
Torpedo? Red Torpedo.
Torpedo?
I think. Yeah, right?
Oh, it's the 4 elements anyway.
Yeah.
Point is, it was a fun book. Y'all should read it, and I wish they did more callbacks. But I digress. Red Tornado insists that it has nothing to do with Red and Inferno. And they all just insist that they will figure this out eventually, despite that Airwave is on the other side of the door listening in, and I don't like where that's going. I needed to include that just for that, because fuck, Airwave should be a good guy forever. Anyway, Costa Rica, Wonder Woman and Mary Marvel have discovered xenomorph eggs that have hatched, which is not good. And oddly enough, being part of a pantheon, they have the same train of thought. They should carry it into space. So they do that, and then they're attacked by a giant parademon-like dragon, or dragon-like parademon, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it looks kind of like both of them. Mary gets taken down, and Wonder Woman is left pushing up the landmass with the eggs by herself. Not much she can do at the time. Jean and Dr. Occult head off to go find the missing children, as Batman surmised that Jean could use his telepathy to try and figure out where the kids are, but then Jean reveals to Dr. Occult in confidence that he's actually lost his telepathic abilities after the events of Absolute Power, and no matter what he tries, he cannot get them back. But he is not told the League because he does not want to be sidelined. Dr. Occult then reveals that he's also been watching John since he basically first came to Earth, and has always kept a close eye on him, even knowing his alter ego of John Jones. And it was at that point that they found the missing children, including a monstrous parademon that actually has a personality, can talk, and also has thoughts and feelings. This parademon was one of the first parademons ever to actually have trains of thought, and with such was given the task by Darkseid to remain on Earth and hatch parademons to one day be activated and cause immense havoc across the planet. But then he finds out that Darkseid is dead, and then John gets a little bit too pissed off when the monster goes on to say, to be torn from your home against your will and imprisoned on another planet for years. Can you imagine my suffering? And John was like, how fucking dare you, you bastard, using your pain to kidnap children? I am you, motherfucker, and I'm not doing this shit. What's wrong with you? So he turns into a monster and fights the monster and beats the shit out of the monster until the Justice League arrive. Superman and Wonder Woman get him under control, and
Whoa,
then
John,
he
whoa.
disappears, embarrassments, and just
John, whoa.
wants a bit of solitude. And that's where the issue ends for now, and then it continues into a Challengers of the Unknown preview, which has already come out, and a question all on the Watchtower preview, which is on issue 3. So I was a little behind.
Both of which are awesome.
They are both awesome.
They really are great books.
They are.
Definitely go pick them up. They need more readers to make sure we keep getting such good stories, because these are phenomenal.
Yes, I 100% agree on the Challengers of the Unknown stuff because I want more Challengers.
And all along the Watchtower as well, that is a story about Question, Renee Montoya, and some mysteries that are going on up in the new Watchtower in space.
Yeah.
Home to every hero.
Except the Titans.
Yeah.
You have a wing there, but yeah.
Because they're living in the Titans tunnels.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. Titans tunnels. Anyway.
That's from Roy. I stole that from Roy. Not me. He called it Titans tunnels. But
I mean, it's true.
it is true.
But yeah, Justice League Unlimited, all the fun of the cartoon with all the horror of Zack Snyder movies. It's and take that last bit as you will.
I did.
No matter which way you take it, that's how I said
I got you.
it.
Weirdly enough, I'm taking it both ways.
Good. I think that's how I intended it. I don't know. But if you answer now, 3 ways will happen. All right, now, but Justice League Unlimited, it's a very interesting story. I'm loving that Mark Waid is just tapping into DC history, and like there seems to be a core league that's always going to be on every mission, the heavy hitters, but you're going to get some pop-ups here and there, like Jaime, Blue Beetle, like Atom Smasher, like fucking Dr. Occult of all people. Never would have guessed that Dr. Occult would ever show up in a Justice League book.
Yep.
But here we are. 8.75 out of 10. It would get a 9 if Airwave was not becoming a villain.
It's a green, man.
I don't
telling
care.
you. But man, I really like how
Good
this
kid.
works. I just never know who I'm gonna see on a mission or involved in a story, and it always makes sense. The cast is so deep so that they can bring anyone into anything, and that's just cool as hell. A good Martian Manhunter story is set up to boot here. I never got the chance to get into the Justice League Unlimited cartoon. This isn't that either. But I'm glad I get a chance to get into this version of the Justice League Unlimited, because it is freaking wicked. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's written well. It's colored phenomenally. This is what I was hoping for when they announced this title. I'm very happy. 8.5 out of 10.
So you've never seen Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon. So you missed out on not only Green Arrow, Supergirl, and her brother-sister friendship team up, which was fantastic, but you also missed out on the excellent pairing of the Question and Huntress.
Huntress? Oh my god! I knew you were gonna
when was Justice League Unlimited airing?
I want to say
Airing on TV.
2006.
Yeah.
Because I think the original series 2004, and it ran for 2 seasons, so it should be.
They did a lot of reruns. That's how.
Yeah.
No.
Should be 2006, 2007 to like 2008, 2009.
That was quite the time at the time. So no, I didn't get an opportunity to do that.
If you at least watch the first season, and you will also fall in love with a Huntress Question pairing.
Yes.
I would be fine with that,
Originally, I was
either
like,
as a team or a relationship.
It seemed like such an odd thing at the time, and then I read Huntress Cry for Blood in high school, or what is it? Yeah, Batman Huntress Cry for Blood in high school. And I was
Yes.
like, oh my god, it's like a thing in comics. I mean, I don't know. I
Yep.
can't remember if it was exclusively
Once.
romantic, but they did have a brief partnership. And I was like, oh my god, it's here
real.
too. It's awesome. It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so good in the cartoon, though.
Mm.
The Question was easily the best character of the series.
I think you mean Green Arrow. No, Green Arrow was just great in everything.
Green Arrow was great in that show too, but The Question, like being a hero and solving crimes and also just randomly dropping conspiracy theories out of nowhere was fan-fucking-tastic. Just like, yeah, it seems this body here has died, but did you know that cow milk can control your mind?
Whoa. No, I didn't.
I would definitely recommend checking out some episodes of Justice
Yeah,
League.
it was such a good show. It's so fucking good.
Also, am I crazy or was there a movie? I remember there being a movie at some point.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I'm going nuts. I don't know.
Welcome to the club.
I'm having like some Justice League Unlimited movie on DVD, but maybe I'm tripping.
It might be like, you know, the first 2 or 3 episodes of Justice League when they came together with the Seven and fought against the versions. That could have been. I think when it came out on DVD, it came out as one thing, right? Even though it was 3 episodes, it came out as one whole story. It was technically like a movie.
So I remember it was something about the Thanagarians had invaded. Was that like an oversized?
Yeah, that was the end of Justice League, if I remember correctly.
Okay,
that's how they ended the initial series. With Hawkgirl betraying the team at first because her people were there.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Man, I gotta rewatch that.
I think it's all on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's all in your brain. Just save us the time.
No, I gotta stop fucking rewatching. Actually, I haven't even been rewatching Superman the animated series. Been stuck in my sitcom hole.
Oh, which sitcom?
You gotta be watching Creature Commandos.
Well, I've seen the first episode. It's good.
You gotta be watching Creature Commandos.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta climb out of my sitcom hole, like I said.
Consider it a sitcom. Weirdly enough, it fits.
You sit and watch it, and there is some comedy.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
That is a truth.
Well, it's a situation.
Yeah.
And comedy.
No.
There are situations and comedies.
Legit, that's what I thought sitcom meant when I was a kid.
Sit and
the comedy you sit and watch.
Situational comedies.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that is approximately the halfway mark. So we are going to go ahead and take a brief commercial break.
Before we do that, did either of you even talk about this book?
Didn't I?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh no! Oh my God, didn't I?
Yeah.
We just started talking about the cartoon.
No, Justice League Unlimited has unlimited amounts of awesome.
Oh no, I said it.
And I don't know. I mean, you kind of touched on a lot of the stuff that I dig about it, the expanded roster, and I mean, maybe not so much the airwave stuff, but definitely seeing the different situations they're getting into, and kind of cleaning up the after effects of all of Darkseid's machinations. But the thing that I came away from most strongly after reading this issue was, why don't we have a Martian Manhunter year 1? Why is that not happening?
Ooh.
Like when Occult was talking about John's origin, I was like, is that a thing? Have they done year 1? And I got to go back and look at the series from the 90s because maybe.
Oh my God!
But that is something
really
that
need
happen
Philip
again
Kennedy Johnson to write that.
Like
with art from Dan Moore.
Yeah, like seriously. No, when you think about it, you're like, how awesome would that be? Martian Manhunter year 1, first arrives on Earth, fits in with the Colorado Police Department as John Jones, solves a bunch of crimes, maybe goes up against Malafak or something like that. Boom, 6-issue series.
Done.
Give me, oh God, can I get a Marcio Takara Manhunter instead?
Yeah. I don't know who
Okay.
I would pick to do that, honestly, but I just want to see something like that happen.
Yes, me too.
I would honestly.
I mean,
like
I'll take Dan Moore drawing anything. Anybody in my
Yeah.
top 5, of course. So, I mean, you name it. But I think Marcio Takara could do a
Ooh,
really
actually,
good job for
I
Martian
know.
Manhunter.
No, I know who'd be perfect for it. Someone who I was so convinced was going to do a Martian Manhunter series, but that hadn't happened yet. I want Dan Waters and Christopher Mitten to do Martian Manhunter Year One.
Ooh, that would be good.
Dan
Yeah.
Waters would be a good person for a psychological Martian Manhunter story, for sure.
I feel like he could really tap into a new element of retelling John's origin, or not like completely, redoing it, but taking the basics, right? Transferred to Earth, scientist dies, becomes a police officer, and add some new
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, so him, Philip Kennedy Johnson, or Jeff Lemire, but only one of those 3.
I would probably go with Dan Waters, honestly. Jeff Lemire would be very cool, but that's something I'd want to see in like an alternate universe that he would write and draw. I think that would be really cool.
What about
But
Chip
he would do
Zdarsky?
such a good job.
Yeah,
Chip Zdarsky could do a good noir. I'm thinking
I
about
could see that.
his Daredevil run.
Yeah,
for a real quick mini, yeah. All right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
that
besides the
is
point.
it,
weird
and
silence.
all beside the point. That's because we were waiting for the commercial that I
we were
forgot to bring us.
so busy thinking about
Right.
who we
So,
would be
do
fighting.
you guys need to step away for a minute?
I probably should.
All right. So
Good
we
idea.
will be back in about 2 and 2.
4.
2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Alrighty.
Peace.
Peace.
I've got it.
Hello.
Martian Manhunter Year 1, written by John Ridley, with
Ooh,
art from John Timt.
that'd be a deep story. It'd be a good one though.
That would be a really good one.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in Action Comics.
Me too. I mean, with major disaster, anything can happen.
Anything could happen.
Anything?
Well, yeah, anything.
Anything.
I mean, potentially anything.
It's Brandon.
You got it. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. That was long. But here we are.
Yeah.
Because the episode was long. So, here we are. Metamorpho the Element Man. Number 1.
He's kind of an elephant man. It's okay.
Written by Al Ewing, art and colors inside and out from Steve Lieber, and the low ridge with letters from Ferran Delgado. This is a quick one, but if you don't know him, let me catch you up to the current status of who Metamorpho is. His name is Rex Mason, and he could become any element at all after coming into contact with a strange meteor. A part of that meteor was fashioned into the Staff of Ra. He works for Simon Stagg, the father of his main squeeze, Sapphire Stagg, and owner of the aforementioned Staff of Ra and Stagg Industries. In this issue, we meet Mr. 3, the Triple State Man, soldier of Cyclops. He's That's a really long name. Apparently the new nemesis for Metamorpho. He can alter his body into 3 different forms of matter. He breaks into Stagg Industries to steal information on Metamorpho and more. He can also emit energy that destabilizes Rex and stalls his ability to morph. The Orb of Ra and the staff fixes that, though, which was made from the same meteor that gave Rex his powers, as I mentioned before. With the help of Element Girl, another character that's a member of Shade, and also in this book, they take down Mr. 3, but there is more to come, and Rex Mason knows it. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Overall, the general idea of the Metamorpho story is cool. But Al Ewing is the epitome of Marvel writing. Like, if Marvel had a smell, it would smell like Al Ewing. And I don't
know what that means. Hear you elaborate.
The way that Al Ewing writes is like, if I had to have some kind of example, like if there was some kind of an example of what a Marvel comic reads like, it would be something like how Al Ewing writes a comic book. And I haven't read Marvel comics in a long ass time.
I'm so confused right now. Al Ewing is a very specific style that I'll get to later, but multiple different styles actually, and one of them is fully on display here. But again, I want you to finish.
Well, this particular super corny, over the top, excessive narrative and corniness in the dialogue kind of shtick that I used to get when I read Marvel comics and did not keep me reading it. In any case, I don't like it. Corny, I can appreciate corny, but it's off-putting for me throughout the whole thing. I like the characters present being used, but I can't get into this. Not the narrative, not the dialogue. Lieber and Lowridge are okay, but this won't be a book that I read for leisure, unfortunately. That's gonna get this book, which has, again, an okay plot setup and story for Metamorpho, a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
Okay, so
the kind of classic style wordplay was a little off-putting for me at first as well, but I did get a little more into it later on in the issue because I had a bit of a heart to it in a way. And you get about halfway through the story, and you see it's not just in the narrator text, but it's also in the characters' voices as well. And there's like, okay, this is like he's really going hard on the classic style of Metamorpho the Elephant Man and the era that he shone.
You just said it. You just said Elephant Man.
Did I say it?
Yes, you did.
I didn't think about it. Oh my
Yes.
god! Oh my
Yes.
Josh, this is all your fault.
I've been waiting so hard, so long since we started talking about this book a month ago to hear one of you guys say Elephant Man.
This is your fault, Josh.
Yay!
God dang it. Elements, man. Fuck's sake. One of the classic stuff in the era that he debuted. Really just going full force into the campiness of it all, really. And I kind of dig that. A campy Metamorpho was a fun Metamorpho if it's done the right way. And I've always believed in how Al Ewing can write. So even if the first issue wasn't a stellar first issue, I do think that maybe with time it could have a charm to it that we might not see at first. But for now, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Very well.
So for anyone who read the Ant-Man miniseries, the Wasp miniseries, the Fury one-shot, this style is not a surprise. And I kind of knew it was coming because I'd read a few interviews with Al talking about his approach to the series, which is why it was not so much a surprise, but a very pleasant read to basically have an entire issue that is a love letter to Bob Haney and Ramona Fradon's original Metamorpho series, like right down to the captions and everything. And I do get the feeling that this series, much like Metamorpho, will go through some kind of change at first. But I also very much get the sense that this is going to be Al doing that kind of classic, fly by the seat of our pants, Silver Age style that worked for a very whimsical character like Metamorpho. So for me, this is like knocking it out of the park. I knew it was coming. It was teed up perfectly, executed perfectly. And it was nice to see Al approaching it with that same, like, I'm just going to have fucking fun. I'm not going to try and I'm sure some of that stuff will come later. Maybe there will be some Immortal Hulk Ultimates elements to this, but I get the sense that this is like, I'm just going to do the Ant-Man thing. I'm just going to have fun with all the tropes and just do a very classic, very not traditional, but retro style of Metamorpho that feels right at home with everything DC's doing with All In. So I had a great time with this one. I loved all the references that they would throw to elements of Metamorpho's history, including the Element Woman, which I thought was really fun. Not expecting that in the first issue, expecting that later when they would throw in some more cameos. But it was a good time. Definitely would would look forward to the rest of this series to see what other elements he's going to draw from the classic Metamorpho series. So 8.5 out of 10 for me. I came away from this one thoroughly pleased. Because I knew it was coming, and I was so excited for a series that would embrace that approach instead of trying to just, I don't know, like do its own weird take on it or try and play up the whole Metamorpho is a modern hero for the modern times or whatever. Like let's just have a fun, nice throwback book. I can appreciate that for once.
If it means anything at all, Al Ewing, from what I can tell, is a Scottish writer.
English.
I'm not so sure.
Yes. Listen to him speak.
I have to listen to him speak because it only says on every bio I can find just says British.
Yeah.
But his last name Ewing is of Scottish descendants. And there's a word he uses in this issue that is typically only used in Scotland.
Well, I would not be surprised if, I mean, maybe he has some Scottish ancestry or something, but he did the same thing with Mr. Horse in Valkyrie, where he had a Yorkshire accent, which I know is not in Scotland, but
Yeah.
he had a whole profile that was basically like, I'm going to study up on regional dialects, and I'm going to give this horse a Yorkie's accent just because I think it's funny. So I would not be surprised if there's some element of that too. But you could, there could be some truth to that he may have some Scottish,
some Scottish background to him for sure. But my point is, like, if you look at other Scottish writers, they're all pretty fucking out there.
Yeah, it's true.
Al Ewing is no different.
No, and has very much mentioned Grant Morrison's Animal Man as an influence. I think because a lot of people were comparing that run and Immortal Hulk around the time that Immortal Hulk was really popping off.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Mm. Or no, I'm sorry, not Animal Man, Batman. And it's sort of like, let's embrace everything as continuity approach.
Oh, okay, that kind of idea.
Mm.
I thought you were getting into like the almost body horror aspect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. People were comparing the two, but he mentioned Animal Man as being an influence on just like his early comics reading.
Right.
And obviously all the Jack Kirby stuff.
Yeah.
You have to assume if you like Grant Morrison, you're probably going to like Jack Kirby stuff.
Probably, yeah. Immortal Hulk is such a good book, though.
But yeah, no, greatly enjoyed this one.
Yeah,
I have this thing where I can't help but picture Al Ewing and Dan Slott both sitting right around 70 years old.
No. Dallas, maybe in his late 40s, might be 50s. I'm not sure exactly.
Not in my head canon.
Well, all right then.
Not in my head canon. They are both old. I feel like they've been writing at Marvel for 50 years.
It feels like it, but Al Ewing hasn't really been writing at Marvel too long.
No, since 2013, I think, which is a little over a decade, but not that long, honestly.
Yeah, not in comparison to like other writers.
Yeah.
At least in comparison to the amount of books he's written.
Yeah.
Like his only long run, his only real run at Marvel, from what I remember, was Immortal Hulk.
Yeah. Well, there was a period where he had a lot of books, but they would often get cut short very early.
Yeah.
Immortal Hulk was kind of the first like sustained success. But even that was no one really knew if it was going to go past 20.
And yet it went past 50.
Yeah. Well, exactly 250 with the number of one-shots and a zero issue.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, before the commercial break, we talked about Justice League Unlimited. We took a break and then changed a little bit of shape, and we are now with the Atom Project. Brandon, any chance you want to tell us about that?
I suppose I can. But unlike
you.
Metamorpho, whose costume is timeless and classic and representative of all the goofiness of the Silver Age, this issue features costumes that are terrible, dated, and will look entirely impractical in 4 years' time. Justice of the Atom Project is written by John Ridley and Ryan Perot, with art from Mike Perkins, colors from Adriano Lucas, and letters from Wes Abbott. This will be a fairly short one, as most of it is set up, but the issue begins with kind of a cold open featuring a mysterious man on the run who's later revealed to be Nathaniel Atom, aka Captain Atom. But before we can even get into why he's on the run and why Ray Palmer and the government is hunting for him, cut to 3 weeks earlier, where Ray and Ryan Choi, the other Atom, are helping to deal with another metahuman emergence case, or as they refer to them, unsubs, people who mysteriously have grown powers or have harnessed powers and now need the Justice League's help. So they're able to help this kid while he's dealing with his electrical discharge freak out, able to bring him down. not that harshly, before taking him to the watchtower and bringing him to a special room that acts as a Faraday cage, basically to keep him grounded, literally and figuratively, um, until they can run some tests and his parents can arrive. Um, while Ryan seems more skeptical of making promises that they will be able to heal him, it's Ray who is eager to make those promises and say that everything is going to be fine, things will soon be back to normal, which seems to be a point of contention between Ray and Ryan throughout this. But they need to get back to running some very painful looking tests on Captain Adam, who is kind of served as their guinea pig to figuring out exactly what's going on with all the power swapping and exactly how they might be able to bring some of the powers back. That's when we cut back to 3 weeks later, where we follow up with Nathaniel Adam, who is still on the run. Ray is trying to coax him back to the light and ask him to come quietly, but of course, Adam, being a warrior, charges after them, unleashing some powers that we don't entirely understand, ones that certainly don't seem to be Captain Adam's normal powers, before going on the run, as the mysterious voice in the background alludes to the fact that Captain Adam will be coming for them in order to fix whatever is going on with him. Yeah, it's a solid setup. I love an Adam story, and I mean that as Adam and Adam.
Indeed.
All the Adams.
Is this Adam squared?
This
Cubed.
is Adam cubed, actually.
Cubed. Is Adam Smasher? He is present this week in reviews. Will he be showing up next month?
I can't imagine why he would, even if he does have the Adam legacy, because he does not know a damn thing about science.
No.
Much as I love old Al Rothstein.
He smashes Adam.
Yeah. It is a solid setup, but I don't know. I feel like I hope this doesn't go the direction of Captain Adam is a villain now, mostly because that is such an obnoxious hero turned villain trope, but also because they're doing that in Jenny Sparks right now, and it's such a ridiculous plot thread.
Yep.
Part of the reason I'm not really reading that book, but whatever. So I like the focus on Ray,
it's also not
Ryan's
good,
relationship. I like the contrast between Ray and Ryan's personality, although Ray seems a little more assertive than I remember him as being. Maybe it's just because he has that kind of mentor relationship with Ryan.
It's the new costumes, man.
Well, yeah, but
I got some shit to say about those costumes.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Dress the way you want to feel.
Like
he wants to feel in charge. He dresses in charge.
Power Ranger. Well, at least Ryan's costume looks like that. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Ray's costume.
He happens to be a fan of what's that shit called? The Power Ranger shit. Saiyan shit. Sentai.
Sentai.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is
so he put together his own shit made out of physics lab equipment.
Oh God. Yeah.
Cosplay to the extreme.
So for as much as I enjoy sort of the back and forth between Ray and Ryan, I do feel like I need something a little, like, I like the mystery aspect, but I feel like I need something more to hook me than just Captain Adam has gone AWOL. Whoa. So I'm hoping there's more of substance in the next issue that'll get me hooked. Oh boy, the costumes. Honestly, I would have given this issue like an 8 out of 10 because everything was solid, even if it didn't completely sell me. But these costumes are so fucking awful. It literally made me drop the score to have like painful to look at, especially Ryan's costume, which is almost, it's like I know people had complaints about the Rebirth costume because it looked too mechanical, but this is somehow worse. It's like that weird crossbreed between like mechanical but also trying to be slick and not as technological. So it just looks weird. It looks like a crappy Image costume in the worst way. Not even like like a young blood-esque costume in a this is so ridiculous kind of way, like just awful. He looks like Blue Beetle's costume from Extreme Justice from the 90s lineup. It's just it's just painful to look at. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know who redesigned this, but if it was Dan Mora, I'm so sorry. It was a miss. If it was anyone else, you need to rethink your redesigns. But yeah, anyway, 7.5 out of 10. I wish it could be higher, but these costumes are an eyesore, and I will be so glad when they're retired in years.
Okay, first, I knew that the story with Captain Atom, if they're going to have a Captain Atom story, I knew it was going to be heavy. It had to be with everything that's going on in the DC universe. This is good. The mystery of who the caption boxes are, that has me curious. Right up until the last page, I was suspicious that it might be people or some people's consciousness somehow collected into his head, something like Firestorm. But obviously we know better now at the last page. Captain Atom is such a cool character and got a lot of cool possible stories. He's got the powers of Superman, the cool-headedness of Batman, and the will of Green Lantern. The way this story has been set up is just, for me, I can't wait to see the next issue. He feels confident enough to be able to keep control of whatever power it is that he has, and he thinks that it's so powerful he needs to keep it away from even the Justice League. So what is that? I don't know that that is necessarily him being painted to be a villain. Let's hope it's him being painted to be an awesome hero, and definitely let's hope that he doesn't end up being a martyr. Big fan of the fact that he is not featureless. Hell yeah, I enjoyed this book. 8.5 out of 10.
Oh my god. You know who Ray looks like with that new costume?
Oh, the costumes.
He looks like Bullseye.
Shut up.
Oh,
he kind of
shit.
does. Now that you said that,
That's
but
so awful.
So look, as far as the new costumes go, don't hate me, guys. First, Ray's costume, I really don't mind. Hold on. Roy, excuse me. Ryan's costume, I feel like it could be better, but I also feel like it's meant to look like a work in progress. I don't have a problem with them, but the reason why I think I don't have a problem with them is because as much as I have always enjoyed both of the Adams characters, I have never once seen an Atom costume that I have liked. Not one time.
Even the OG?
Even the OG. I've always thought it was ridiculous looking.
Sort of Atom?
I mean, no more ridiculous looking than any of the other superheroes.
Yeah.
Go on.
From the very first time I ever saw him in a comic book, I'm like, the fuck is that? I don't know. I didn't think that about Blue Beetle, and just sitting here thinking about this
They had the
now.
same costume.
I was like, what is
But
that?
there was something about the Atom that was just like, what is this thing? I don't know. Maybe
Atom and Blue Beetle.
you
Ray
took the goggles
and Ted
off
had
of
the
Ted
same
Cord,
fucking costume.
Yeah, if you took the goggles off of Ted Cord, the costumes would not be all that different.
Yeah.
I guess he needed goggles. I don't know,
Is that the color
but
scheme?
I don't
Like
know.
red and blue together?
That's why he
Maybe.
hates Spider-Man.
That's why I hate Spider-Man.
I don't hate Spider-Man. I just like Ben Reilly better.
Ben Reilly, who also wears blue.
Red.
but a
that-
different color
that-
scheme.
That costume is way better. No, so you like
Mhm.
Chasm? Fuck Chasm.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like, what's his face? That's how well I know him. What's his
Kane.
Kane.
I mean, Kane's current costume is pretty dope. It's just
The
Scarlet.
Scarlet Spider costume's fine, but that's
Always has been.
Yeah. Oh God.
for the time.
Yeah.
We need to do a special episode just talking about superhero fashion and
Oh man,
have it
I'm
out.
so all over that.
Oh my god, shiz.
I love talking about superhero costumes. Probably too much.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We could like rank our top 10 or something, or bottom 10.
There is somewhere in this
Five
room.
best and 5 worst.
There's somewhere in this room.
Long forgotten. Like Earth 2 Robin, I thought was long forgotten. I bring him
For
up
good
in
reason.
our chats, and then McFarlane releases a figure of him.
Yeah, like he was long forgotten for a fucking reason.
And then we're talking about him, about different Robin costumes, and I bring him up out of like fucking left field. I did some digging to find that shit just to fuck with Brandon, and then boom, we get a figure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that depresses
And
me.
yet we don't have a Black Canary.
And yet we don't have a Green Arrow. But we do have an Atom in the best.
Zatanna.
We do have an Adam in the
We don't
back.
have Stephanie Brown.
I don't know. I think there
That's
wasn't there.
not yet,
Oh,
but
maybe
that's
not.
coming.
There's the
Yes, I know.
universe version of.
I'm locked into the McFarlane Psychic Universe. Have you not
But
figured
yet
that out?
we have Earth 2 Robin,
Yep.
Yeah.
the second worst Robin costume ever made.
Second worst
Worst.
Robin costume ever made. What was the worst Robin costume ever made?
Drake.
Drake.
Oh,
Damn,
Yeah.
I don't even want to count that as a Robin costume.
That's like-
but for
This Young
simplicity's
Justice.
sake,
That's
yeah.
like as
Brown
bad,
tattoo.
if not
No, look,
slightly
like
worse than the current Atom costumes.
no, it's worse, and I'm gonna tell you how much worse it is, Brandon. This is.
Oh no!
I'm gonna tell you how
Think about
much
it.
worse it is. No,
They're
look.
remarkably
I'm gonna agree with Rob that Drake is indeed the worst Robin costume, and that is including the former worst in my mind, which was Carrie Kelly.
I knew that was coming.
I mean-
it wasn't even that bad.
It was horrible,
The same
It's-
Robin
It's
costume.
the same
that
as Dick
Grayson
Grayson.
wears.
except it looked like underwear
It just-
legitimately.
It just had goggles. That's
Yeah.
the only difference.
It looked so silly.
I mean,
It
they were
looked
just
so
her
stupid.
glasses.
Yeah.
And the way he was drawn. Whatever. It's horrible.
I mean, that's the artist.
It was it was drawn exactly the same as every other version of the classic Pixie Boots Robin costume drawn. There was no difference.
Which was horrible.
I mean, unless you just hate that costume, which, you know, that's
Understandable, but
Horrible.
it's by no
Understandable,
means
but
the worst.
as I always say, it's okay to be wrong. So
Okay, so couple points to what
Bang.
you guys were talking about. When it comes to Captain Atom being a big antagonist in a few books recently, let's face it, Hawk is just busy, so it's got to be Captain Atom.
He said Hawk.
Yeah. So if it's not Hawk, Captain Atom is next in line.
What's Hawk doing?
Fucking something else. I don't know. Dove.
Rude.
And now I broke Josh. Okay. Whew. Woosah. Okay. As for the costumes, my one question. Actually, I got two questions. One question. Are those
Yes.
shoulder pads, or did Ryan get some really fucked up shoulders?
they're shoulder pads.
They're weird looking shoulder pads. Why does
For
he
what
have
reason?
shoulder pads?
For what reason?
He looks like a football player from the shoulders up.
Protection.
Of
From what?
He,
Why does
well,
he need it?
he's
And they-
usually running into things like this, is he not?
No.
Yes, he is.
No
Yes, he
more
is.
than any
Yes, he
other
is. He's
people
running
in
into
this
things like
position.
this.
That is the stupidest thing.
Shoulder pads.
That's why I'm like, this is the classic early image crap of We don't really have a reason for it being there. We just think it kind of looks cool, you know.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just
shoulder
stick it
pad.
on there.
It's awesome,
Let's
man.
have some random lines zigzag and see, like Ryan's costume. If it was tweaked a little bit and the arms were done better, it wouldn't be that bad.
Ugh.
It wouldn't be. It'd be
I-
not too far off from his OG costume.
I cannot understand for the life of me why they felt the need to change the costumes.
Yes, see, that's my gripe, and that
I'm
brings
like,
me to my
for
next
what
point.
reason?
So
It's not
think-
even a fresh start thing.
think in universe. Guys, we've got this crisis. The Justice League needs us. Superpowers are gone all over the place. People are manifesting these new powers they don't know how to control. We need to work really quickly to figure this out. But first,
Wait.
let's get some new threads.
First, I gotta change my
Somebody stop Mike Perkins and Adriana Lucas.
Like, what was the reason? Even if you
why?
think in universe storyline wise, why did they need to take a couple days and be like, okay, maybe I'll change the get some
Excuse
black and
me.
silver, try this out. Why? What's the point?
New zip code, new threads, Kay.
I don't fucking
Ugh.
care.
Oh my god, shit.
Nobody else got any.
Got
I
any
think
what?
The reason it
New
rankles me
threads.
so much.
I mean,
is
you don't
because-
know
Everybody we've seen so far, nobody
Yeah.
has new threads.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason it rankles me so much is like, I don't know. I always had kind of a weird obsession with the atom in a strange way. Somewhere in this
That's
room is a cardboard recreation of the atomic belt that I made in like
Nice.
8th grade or something. So I always loved that original costume because it was the epitome of like, this is sleek, it's efficient, and it looks
Yeah.
great when he shrinks. But
Yeah.
this shit makes me want to vomit. I can't look at it.
And funny you mentioned the atomic belt. Do you guys see one?
No.
Exactly. How's
Or
he
if
shrinking?
it is, I don't know. Maybe it's built into that awful vest he has.
Atomic wristwatch? Like,
It's in the shoulder pads.
okay,
Yeah.
that's for Ryan. What about Ray?
The symbol.
Jesus Christ. See, that's just not functional. So it's in the symbol for Ray, but not the symbol for Ryan?
Yeah.
I
Personal
don't know.
preference.
Costumes are stupid.
Absolute Batman has a bat symbol that transforms into a battle axe.
Yes, but that's practical. If he needs a weapon, it's right there.
Okay.
He's not rich enough to travel the world and learn all sorts of martial arts. He needs a fucking weapon.
You can turn a dump anyway. That's a different book. Absolute January coming in a few weeks.
We'll
folks.
debate that costume later. As for this, the costumes are stupid. They weren't necessary. Ryan's is so close to good, but he's got a weird fucking shoulder jacket going on that just doesn't work.
In the
Oh god. Oh, poor Ray. Why
In
is
the
Ray
interior-
always getting the short end of the stick?
And all the story is interesting enough to keep my interest for a couple issues. I just hope it picks up a little bit. The mystery of the text boxes and the unseen narrator has me kind of curious and has caught my attention. So for now, it's going to get 7.5 out of 10. Would be higher if they didn't change the fucking costumes.
Killing me. You understand? It's like watching a part of my soul die.
Oh, Ryan Joy, who's been watching Judge Dredd movies. That's where his outfit came from.
Oh god,
I gotta.
no.
They're both in the symbol. He just wanted the visor in the chunky shoulder pads. It's all fashion.
I swear to God, at some point with Ray and Ryan having these arguments, at one point Ryan turns to Ray and goes, "I am the law. I'm whipping this book."
Yeah.
Winning. Excellent.
God damn. Ugh. I'm happy our misery can make you laugh, Josh.
Over an Adams costume, it does, just because I've just never enjoyed it, which is funny. It's well, I don't know about funny, but I mean that says something because I've always. Whoops, am I yelling?
Is that booster gold?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I know.
I mean, Blue Beetle looks basically the same, but
Blue Beetle is unchanged, just given more extreme features. But
Booster Gold
oh,
that's Judge Dredd.
and you think about it, and you're like, Booster Gold, like maybe not the coolest design, but it's got a kind of slick look to it, the classic '80s costume. And then you look at this shit, and you're just like, why? For what reason?
What was this for?
What was the impetus? It was a run of the Justice League called Extreme Justice. I don't even remember
Extreme Justice,
exact
yes.
reasons why he had to put on this costume. The
Captain Adam was
in
on
context
there.
reasons, not the like editorial reasons, which I assume were to the effect of we want Booster to look cooler because he doesn't look cool enough right now. He looks like a dork. I can only assume that was their rationale.
Yeah.
Do they need a better one? Just kidding.
Yes.
I'm starting
they
a fight with Rob on that one now that I've pissed off Brandon about the Adam.
You don't fuck with. Okay, you can fuck with Booster's costume a little bit as long as it's tasteful.
Yeah.
I feel like it could use a slight update.
I feel like they'd use a collar, maybe a cape.
Booster should not have a cape.
No, he shouldn't.
No, and I'm afraid of what he would do with the collar.
He'd pop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
Like he used to do in the 80s.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I think it's time to move on to the next one, yeah?
I think
Yes,
so.
please.
Shoot.
Spare
Brandon
me.
needs to get off this costume. So.
I know. It's
I guess I was
every
going to
more.
talk about the costume just a little bit longer. Give us about
God.
10 more minutes, and then we're going to move on to Shazam,
I'm gonna
Shazam,
die
Shazam.
if that were the case.
Go ahead. It's Rob. My bad.
Shazam number 19, The Horror of Monster Mind. This is Shazam Presents Welcome to Our Overlords, the finale. Written by Josie Campbell with art from Dan McDade. Would you care to change the cover, Josh? Inks from Roberto Poggi. Colors from Trish Mulvihill. Letters from Wes Abbott. And the cover before you there from Gleb Melnikov.
Looking good.
Yep. Looking scary.
Mr. Mind should be scary.
Yeah. I mean, he should be now, but like 30, 40 years ago when he was still just a little inchworm, I don't know if he'd really be that scary.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But definitely scary now. I agree. All right, so we open up on Venus where Victoria Savannah, I think was her name. Georgina Savannah, thank you.
Or Georgia.
Georgia.
Right? Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia Savannah. I don't know why I said Victoria. Georgia Savannah.
Because that's the new other chick for that shit's a cord.
Marvel. Yes. That's taken Mary Marvel to Venus. However, now she's actually able to speak, despite there being no atmosphere, which is kind of weird. But it's also revealed at this point that Georgia Savannah has been taken over by Mr. Mind. Her mind is basically gone, and Mr. Mind has taken over. He then goes on to monologue about when Hephaestus found the emerald amber that fell from space. Mr. Mind was within it, and he also has Freddy under his control, as he is within that amber emblem as well. Freddy cannot escape, and he's doing whatever he can to get away from Mr. Mind before he is eaten. Billy, however, is with Bo. After revealing his own identity, slips up about Freddy's identity as the commander, and also reveals his true feelings for Bo. They share a kiss, and he heads off to go save Freddy, leaving Bo all alone and wondering what the hell are you going to do if you can't change into the captain. But he gets there, throws a can at the commander, and says, "I want to talk to Freddy. I know you're in there, Mr. Mind. Just let me talk to him." He gets blasted by some lightning. Freddy is doing whatever he can to get Mr. Mind to stop and get control back of his body, even just admitting that Mr. Mind is right, that he is jealous and petty, and it hurt each time that Billy outshone him. But he will do whatever it takes for Billy to live. And this is when Hephaestus shows up before Freddy and says, "You have passed the challenge. If you truly mean what you say before me, then you have passed our test. And if you want the power, you will have it. But what are you going to do with it?" And this is when he is said to speak the word Shazam, and Freddy gets his body back and turns into a proper version of himself as the commander.
He
Combined,
said, Shazam around and find out.
hey, exactly. Combined with Freddy, or Billy rather, saying Shazam and becoming the captain, Freddy now has the strength of Samson, the skill of Hephaestus, the power of the All-Father, the speed of Zagreus, the agility of God King Ergetlam. Ergetlam? I don't know how to pronounce it. And the cunning of Midas, a new pantheon of Shazam. And Freddy is once again super powered to work with his brother to save the day. He refused to call himself Captain Junior, despite what the captain says. So he will, chances are,
thankfully,
to be called the commander. Which I'm okay with. I dig that. Now,
or just Junior. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun.
I think it would be hilarious, but I think it's a junior party would have a problem with, because I think he's older. Now, in a somewhat brief epilogue at the end, Mr. Mind is once again taking over other minds, as well as still with George and Savannah at their secret base, and we find Bo has appeared. Is then revealed that her real name is Botia Savannah, who was actually George's sister. And at that point, Mr. Mind's secret plan has come about with a push of a button. The Society app updates go across the world as everybody updates it, and then Mr. Minds come crawling out of the devices and infect everybody across the planet that had updated the app. And if you're reading it in front of you, at least on your phone, Mr. Mind has infected you too, as you'll see on the last page. That kind of fucked me up.
little bit of fourth wall breaking. That was done pretty well.
It didn't help that I was reading it on my phone. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm on my way to work, man. I can't be under mind control now. I'm gonna get paid.
Or anyway, wait, can you just mind control me and then like wake me up when my shift is done? That would work.
That would be fucking great. All right, so in the next issue text box, I'm a little confused because Shazam number 20 is out next month. Then get ready to see what our glorious worm overlord has in store for Shazam number 21 out in March. So does that mean Shazam number 20 is not going to continue the story?
That is a good question.
Yeah, that's definitely what it feels like. But I digress. This issue, really good ending. I like that. I really like the touch of Shazam having different pantheons. It's no longer just the initial that the wizard granted. We have Mary has her, I think, is a Greek pantheon. You have Freddy has his pantheon of forgotten gods.
Well, just like random gods from all over.
Yeah.
Yes.
That have kind of just been like left behind or not thought of much or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice touch, and I wonder
Roman, Greek, and then a handful of other things that match the anagram, but it works. The fact that they're misfits almost fits better for it being Freddy. Yeah. And
Black Adam already having his own Egyptian pantheon of gods for Shazam. I
Yep.
do wonder if Eugene, Pedro, or Darla will get their own pantheon as well. If they're going to continue that, or if this is where Josie Campbell's going to stop.
Feels
And
like
the initial
yeah.
three, the original three, are going to have their powers back.
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna stick with the kind of smaller status quo.
Yeah.
They've eventually got to run out of enough gods to spell Shazam, right?
I mean, there's probably an infinite number of gods they can pull from. I mean, so far we've really only touched a few pantheons. There's more, but that's besides the point. Like, Eugene doesn't really seem that interested. Darla is kind of happy doing what she's doing. Pedro seems a little sad about it, but I think he's going to get over it. So maybe they're fine without the power.
Maybe.
Either way. But end of the day, this is a fun issue. It was a nice little touch. I forgot to double check. Where did Mary end up? Is she
Dead.
She's still on Venus? Oh shit! What?
I don't know. They at the beginning of it, we saw her get, blasted, and then
That
at
was
the
it?
end it said she was dead. So
Did it?
dead, I guess.
It said she was dead at the end.
Yeah,
When?
toward the end.
No shit. But where?
This is why I have to write down my opinions. I can I can go look.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was Mary Marvel is dead.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Well, yeah, dead with lots of quotation marks around it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't see all that many quotation marks around it.
I mean, in my mind,
Yeah, they're there. You just
And I-
can't see them.
yeah.
Gaia.
When I read it and I see dead, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
There might as well be a big but very invisible "for now" right next to it.
Dead, but not really.
Yeah.
Art's really good. Story's fantastic. Josie Campbell's doing good work with the Shazamly. Screw you, Josh.
Bah.
8.75. Not 8. No, fuck it. 9. 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. First, just to get this out of the way, whether it's Botia or Butia Savannah, it's an absolutely
Boscia.
horrible name. Boscia,
Yeah.
it,
Fuchsia.
whatever.
Like
Busha.
Fuchsia.
I love
Butia,
that.
Butia, Busha. It sounds like Beulah.
I think it's a multiversity issue, Thunderworld, where they have the children of Savannah. Fuchsia is one of them.
Oh, yeah?
And it's I think that was the first time I'd ever seen them referenced in any Shazam media, and I thought it was the funniest thing. 'Cause
I completely
like-
missed me.
I can't remember. I think it might be following the classic Shazam mythos, but it was like Savannah, the original Dr. Savannah, had like 3 kids, and 2 of them were really ugly, like Savannah, but one of them was just classically handsome. So they all used their powers to transform, and they all, were more quote unquote traditionally attractive looking. And the handsome guy just looks exactly the same. 'Cause he's like, perfection. What was his name? I gotta find it.
I don't know. But anyway, the rest is cool. I like that Freddy
Magnificus. Oh my
Magnificent.
Magnificus.
Oh my God.
Wonderful. Jiminy Christmas.
god, this is great.
The rest of the comic is cool, name aside. I like that Freddy keeps his powers and stays a good guy. And I love that it's, the misfit gods from all over that make up his anagram. That's awesome. Not a fan of Mary dying, and interested to see where Mr. Mind going full on Smile 2, where that leads. The art, McDade is not my favorite. I don't I really don't like the way he draws a lot of stuff. The colors were still good, but that's only half of the finished image. It was a really good issue, but the art kind of threw it for me. 7.5 out of 10. What was that?
Hang on.
Okay, I'll hang.
The panel from
Can't remember
from
that.
World. Yeah. No, the most of the issue is pretty good. Was not expecting the kind of dramatic reveal of Bo as being Fuchsia Savannah. So that definitely kind of caught me off guard. But it was nice. I agree. It was nice seeing Freddy finally get his own pantheon and sort of make peace with all the madness that's going on. But I also am kind of wondering whether or not they're going to take a break next month or if we're just going to continue with the regular story. And if so, I hope that my interest in the story has not waned in the month gap, because I feel like that can sometimes throw off the momentum of the story. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, they left a pretty open plot thread of the family home
Mm.
was kind of fucked up, and I know it was fixed, but there was still some issues with it. I think they had to figure out. Unless did they? Maybe they did fix that. Well, there was still the case of the family was going to be taken away. The kids are going to get taken away. They had to figure that out.
Parents are going to go
Yeah.
broke
Yeah.
fighting for the adoption of Billy.
Yeah. So I don't know. If they get back to that, I don't think it'll be so bad. But we'll have to see. It is kind of like harming the flow, though, where the issue ends with Mr. Mind infecting the population of the Earth.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're just taking a break from that. Like that's kind of weird. That's really fucking weird.
It's really fucking weird, man.
Yeah. But nah, for something completely different.
I'm ready for some justice.
For
Are
some
you ready
strange-
for some justice, America?
Josh,
That's all I got.
Not quite.
Josh,
Yes?
Josh. Look at the schedule again, bud.
Not quite.
What?
Birds of Prey time.
Oh, wait. What the hell?
Yeah, it got.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Birds of Prey it is. Written by Kelly Thompson. Art by Sam Basri with a lot of help from Vicente Cifuentes for pages 6 through 20. And colored by Adriano Lucas with lettering from Clayton Cowles. With a cover by Leonardo Romero and Jordi Belair. The birds, Grace Choi, Onyx Adams, Black Canary, and Barda, are there to save Cass and the others that have been turned into monsters, as well as the Amazons from which the Ninth Day Corporation was deriving their secret serums. The super jacked up women are hard to keep down. They don't feel pain. They put up a hell of a fight until Black Canary and Barda manage to cut a tiny green diamond out of the back of Cass's neck. Now they know how to save the others as Cass begins to return to normal immediately. Zane and the others are in a safe room, but he manages to talk them into taking the serum. They all monster up and then get their butts kicked, and then swiftly, this time it's no long time, no long fight. Sin shows up and says no. Zane isn't quite so lucky. He gets got. The rest of the people get antidotes for everyone and get the Birds of Prey are no longer exiled from Themyscira at the end of this. In fact, Grace and Onyx hang back and chill out there for a while Canary and the rest go home. I think it's another well-crafted bird story. I thought it was drawn perfectly. though at times Canary can look a bit young. The art is fantastic, and I do really
Dinah's
enjoy
not
it.
some old maid, bro.
She's also not 21, bro. Uh, both lines and colors are fantastic. It's really good, as is the story. Even though it's not like story of the year stuff, it is so consistently good.
Speak
It's
for yourself.
it's definitely one of DC's most stable titles in terms of story quality, creative wise. It's awesome. This finale wrapped everything up nicely, and I can't wait to see what Oracle is already getting them stuck in the middle of next. 8.25 out of 10.
I vehemently agree. A lot of fun moments in this issue. Wrapped it up kind of nicely with a little bow on top. Saved the day, saved the captured women, and captured Amazonians, and the captured Cassandra Cain. Sin having some power showing, and was it Onyx, I think, that said, and we left her behind?
Right?
Wasn't on this mission? Why?
Why didn't we bring her from the get-go?
Yeah. And if I didn't already have a favorite moment, this would have been one of my favorite moments. That quick needling of Zane in behind the closed door, just goes, no, just so faintly and defeated. Like, oh, you poor bastard, you deserve this, you little dickhead. No, this is a really good issue, really good series. 17 issues of fun, excitement, enjoyment, sisterhood, action,
And damn good storytelling.
yeah, it's all damn good. It's all really good stuff. 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, no, pretty solid conclusion to the Bird Undercover story. It was nice to have the kind of cast-centric arc, although I don't know if it's a disappointment necessarily, but I guess there was a part of me that was thinking because it was an arc that focused so much on Cass, she would be able to resolve the whole like monstering out thing on her own. I was kind of expecting that. Maybe I shouldn't have been. I don't know, but it felt like
That's what the Batgirl book is for.
Well, yeah, I agree. But given that this arc really wanted to focus on, well, Cass being undercover and kind of handling her own, I was kind of expecting that to continue, even though she was all monstered out. So
Right.
I don't know if it let me down so much as I felt like a missed opportunity there. But aside from that, yeah, solid conclusion. I hope this is not the last we see of Onyx and Grace. They've been such a great addition.
Yep. I agree.
I get the feeling that, because I'm guessing that this series is going to at least make it to 25.
Fingers
3 months
crossed.
from now, when I'm fucking wrong and it gets canceled because it's a nice thing.
Don't even say that. I just said it was one of the most stable quality titles. Don't speak
Well,
that shit.
Hopefully
into
that's how it's been
existence.
sales-wise as well. I have no clue.
I don't either. Damn it.
But
I'm a
yeah,
horrible
assuming
podcast
this is going to make it to 25, and I'm wondering, like, what if they do like a big special reunion issue for everyone who's been a Bird of Prey so far for the 25th issue, and just bring like everyone back, bring back Zealot, bring back obviously, well, if Grace and Onyx are gone, bring them back, bring Vixen back, like just have the whole expanded roster for a big, anniversary issue. That's purely speculation, but I think that would be really cool. So if the series makes it to 25, I hope they do something like that. I think it would be really cool. But no, solid conclusion. I have no clue what the next arc is going to be. No clues given in the finale, but I'm on board as long as the writing remains as strong as it's been so far. So solid 8.25 out of 10 for me.
Preach. All right. Now what's next?
Forgot that Harley Quinn was on the team.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot Harley Quinn was on the team.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn was. Oh yeah, originally yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to
Not
say
this one.
Zatara for some reason, or not Zatara, Zatanna. I was like,
Z-
wait, no, Zatanna was never on this team. What am I saying?
No,
It would
no,
be
no,
cool,
no,
but
Not
no.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now they doled out some justice.
Now let's dole out some justice because we live in a society. Justice Society of America, number 3, written by Jeff Lemire with art from Diego Olortegui, colors from Luis Guerrero, letters from Steve Wands with a pretty wicked cover from Collie Hamner. This issue sees Hawkman in hell, yet again, having his stuff lifted by the Brothers 3 as they take him to meet with their master, who is none other than Wotan, the worst evil sorcerer of them all. And by worst, I mean like not in terms of evilness, in terms of how much he sucks as a character.
Wait,
So
hold on.
Wotan is giving Hawkman shit, and of course Hawkman is going to fight back. But meanwhile, in the Tower of Fate, as the rest of the Injustice Society is trying to basically take over the tower, Dr. Fate gets a much-needed pep talk from Wildcat, which allows him to fully embrace his skills. Not that he was ever lacking in skills, and take down the rest of the Injustice Society in one blow, which is pretty sick. We cut over to Hawk Girl and Green Lantern. We're having a brief heart-to-heart as Kendra basically is like, I don't know what it is about Carter. There's just something about him, whether it's our connection or whatever, but I feel like I have to go and save him. So she decides to fly off to hell to save Carter, for which Alan Scott wishes her the best of luck and hopes that she comes back alive.
But doesn't go with her.
But doesn't go with her because
A guy that could slip in and out of the fourth dimension to be able to pop,
I mean, look, he's
pop,
got to protect the exterior of the Tower of Fate, okay? So he's got things.
pop, pop.
And also, he's probably like, I don't want to go to hell. We spent like 50
It's like it's
years
not
in
like he's
limbo. I don't
really
wanna go to
going
hell.
there. He's just being he's just being an Uber.
Yeah. We spent so long in limbo. We finally escaped. I don't want to go to hell, okay? It's going to bring back some PTSD. So Carter is getting marched through other parts of hell, and basically is chained up while the rest of them are making their plans with Wotan. He struggles against the chains that he was locked up with before hearing a mysterious voice who reveals that they are called Kid Eternity and that they are going to bring Carter out of hell. Except this is not the Kid Eternity that we might recognize, but a new Kid Eternity.
Totally brand new, different Kid Eternity.
Later. Definitely want more answers on that because I'm like, where the hell is the other Kid Eternity? Issue is awesome. What more can I say? I didn't really get into the melodramatic stuff between Sandy and Jade, and I don't remember if I mentioned the Beth Chapel thing where she basically discovers that what Jakeem has been infected with was a product of obsidian. But I mainly wanted to focus on the Hawkman stuff because it felt like it was really taking the focus in this issue. And I hope there's more stuff like this in the future where we did kind of cut around and get to other parts of the JSA. But I definitely liked the focus on Hawkman, and I hope we have more issues that kind of take a center focus on specific characters in the future. So, yeah, solid installment of JSA. Art, as usual, is great. And definitely looking forward to unraveling some of the mysteries in the next few issues. So 8.5 out of 10? Sure, yeah, let's go with that.
I'm so thankful that they kept the stakes where they are with Hawkman. On top of his powers being taken away, Thanagar was also completely recently destroyed. So things are pretty bleak for Hawkman and Shiara, wherever she is. It's been a while since I've got a Hawk story, not since Death Metal, I think. And I'm really hoping that this turns out to be a really good one. I enjoyed Death Metal, but it could have been a lot more, and this could be a lot better. It's got Lemire writing it, so I think it's got I think it's in good hands. being drawn by good hands too, or at least skilled ones. I really like the JSA so far. This is where it's at, 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, how quickly we forget that Hawk Girl miniseries from 2 years ago.
I didn't. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Hawkman was in there?
He wasn't
Oh.
in there. Yeah, it was just the Kendra solo series. from
Yeah, it
last
wasn't a Hawk book. Hawk Girl isn't a Hawk to me. It don't even. It's just like if I think Hawk, it's Hawkman and whoever Hawkman is with.
Well, that's sexist.
Yeah.
What the hell?
There's a clear difference between a Hawk book and a Hawkman
And a
book
Hawk
or a
Girl
Hawk.
book? Josh, I'm sorry. I'm
There's a
putting your ass on blast.
So there's not a difference between a Bat Family and a Batman book or a Batwoman book. No, come on now.
They're all bad.
So a Hawk book.
Technically. What?
No, but you didn't say Hawkman book. You said Hawk.
You said
book.
Hawk?
That's a Hawk book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Hawk Girl's not a Hawk book?
No, it's a Hawk Girl book. Like a Hawk book is like Hawkman and another character.
Oh, silly Rob. Hawk girls can't be hawks.
That's not what I said.
That's kind of. That's like saying Batgirl is not a Bat book because it's not.
That's the wrong
Man or something.
wait. That's the wrong way to take that.
That is what you said. If I said it's been so long since we've had a
It's-
Bat book, and we were talking about Batgirl, and I was like, Batgirl is not a Bat book.
No, it's a Batgirl book. It's not like a
But it's
like
also
a bat.
book, is it not?
In the way you're looking at it, yes, but not in the way that I meant it.
I think we don't get what you're talking about.
I'm very confused.
Is that like it's not like a Hawk book is in like a Hawk team book, or like a Bat book would be like a Bat team book.
I don't know that there's ever been a Hawk team book, but I think that would be a cool idea. But I must say I'm quite flabbergasted by your notion.
Anywho,
This-
Hawkman's in hell. He's
Yes,
probably gonna
Hawkman's
die, and there will never be a Hawk team up book because he's gonna die.
Don't say that. That's mean, and that means that Shiara never comes back. She's the best Hawk.
Let's face it, she was never going to come back.
Shut up. She's the best Hawk.
I mean, is she not still alive? Isn't that what?
Yeah,
they said in
she
this issue?
should be alive. Yeah,
Yeah,
but she's not been around.
like not even a little bit. Nobody's even so much as fucking mentioned her until just now.
I mean, I think she was in the
TJ Maxx.
no.
I mean,
Just
this-
shopping for some
definitely retired.
some sweaters with holes in the back of them. For
Yeah.
no, I think she was in like a panel in Dark Crisis, which is kind of weird because if I'm remembering correctly, it was with the Justice Society, but also Kendra might have been there. I gotta look at that panel again. I might be going crazy, but I'm
I
pretty
think
sure that's
the
the last.
JSA just needs to decide which Hawk they're gonna have and
Why not both?
figure it out. Why not all three?
Why not all three? There's your Hawk family book.
Yes.
You have Hawk.
No, that's a JSA book.
You have
But
Hawkman.
it has all the
you have
Hawks.
His wife.
Hawks
and you
should be
have
in their
the
own
girl
book.
Who was
And
kind
actually,
of
no.
a reincarnated version of his wife, but isn't now, and kind of had a romantic thing at the end of Blackest Night, but then they died. I don't know. You explain.
Let's say, look, okay, Hawk Girl has kind of like moved on from Hawkman. Hawkman's kind of moved on from Hawk Girl. There's
From
like
Kendra, yes.
Kendra, yes,
Yeah.
but Hawk Girl and then Hawk Woman, Shiara. So I mean, it's like Hawk Girl doesn't have to be like part of the Hawk book. Like just have a Hawkman and Hawk Woman book, and then like have Kendra be a part of the JSA.
Okay, Josh, do you want me to get the heat off of you
For what?
about this whole Hawk book thing?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Why not? I forgot I had heat on me. Please proceed.
Fight me, there has never been a good Hawk book.
Fuck
Oh.
you.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Are you
Sorry,
serious? Never
that was-
been a
I
good
was very
Hawk
aggressive.
book?
I
Never
apologize.
enjoyed a Hawk book. I've
You've
realized
never, you
now.
haven't read any.
I think
You
that's
haven't
just-
read any Hawk books.
I wouldn't say there have been no good ones. The Robin
Absolutely
Hood
not.
Penny-
Have you
that's
not
it.
read any of the
Interesting
Thanagar
Hawk
Wars?
story. I can think of has been a JSA book or a cosmic story. Are you talking about Rand Thanagar War? Because that's not a Hawkman.
No, I'm
Hawk
talking
Girl book.
about Robert Venditti had a run on Hawkman, like, what, 2018, I think it was? And that book is still held in high
Tried
praise.
it. I did not like it.
That is definitely a personal taste.
That was Savage Hawkman, wasn't it?
No, that was New 52. That one's awful.
That was New 52. Okay, yeah.
No, the
Savage Hawkman was a little weak,
Hawkman,
man.
No. He had the Claw of Horus, I think, right? I think the first issue he was flying, and there was some kind of island. I'm pretty sure it was part of Rebirth or something like that, right?
It was later than Rebirth.
Post Rebirth, but I think I did read the first couple of issues. I didn't care.
Oh my god. No taste ass MF.
Have you ever read any of the stories of Hawkman and Gentleman Ghost?
No. I mean, any I have read have been in JSA. Pretty sure.
All right, let me educate you, young boy.
Somebody needs to. Holy crap! How can you not be a Hawk fan, man?
I would say that.
Like, I can understand you not having a preference between Kendra and Shiara. That but whatever. But you have to like Hawkman.
I would almost go so far as to say a lot of his stuff has been very underrated in the way that, like, some of it just kind of flies under the radar. Last year I read this miniseries, The Shadow War of Hawkman, and it was awesome. I couldn't believe this book was from the 80s and no one had ever said anything about it.
We need to read it as a group and do more of those books, awesome. Those episodes.
It's John Ostrander and Tim Sherman at their best, not counting what the fuck is that book called?
That one book?
No.
No, the other one.
I'll get to it later, but
yeah,
there's another one of their books that is pretty good. There's that. There's the Jeff Johns run, which is mostly pretty good. I think kind of falls off towards the last 10 issues, but there is good Hawkman content, and if you open your eyes, you will see it.
Open up your eyes. What?
I don't know, man. We'll see. You've got me with John Ostrander.
Telling you.
Piqued my curiosity.
Rimjack, that was it. Rimjack.
And I do remember, I did actually read a technically it was a Hawkman book that I did kind of enjoy, and it was The Death of Hawkman.
Oh my god.
But that was more so about Adam Strange than it was about Carter Hall.
That was basically Rand Thanagar War Part 3.
Part 3, yeah.
Yes, it was. And I loved it. And then it had nothing to do with Hawkman at the end. Might be why I loved it. I just don't see the appeal of some weird fucking space cop Egyptian reincarnation guy that can't decide whether he's alive or dead.
Saying?
With a mace and he flies.
Dude.
If I want to watch a guy fly around, I'll read X-Men.
You want if you want to watch a space cop fly around?
No, it's not even.
You'll read what?
It's not even a space cop thing. It's like, because think about it. Carter's, I would say, most well-known past is being Carter Hall, archaeologist.
Yes, agreed.
So he's basically Indiana Jones with wings. And
yes,
it's awesome. That's what made the Vendetti run so cool, because it simplified that concept while also trying to kind of rework his origin of basically, being reborn in a bunch of different places.
But the appeal of Indiana Jones is he was a professor. He's a mild-mannered professor that at the beginning of the movies, he's just teaching a class about archaeology and history. And then next thing he gets a call from some freaking organization that we need you to recruit this.
That's Hawkman, man.
He's a badass dude.
Are you forgetting the first 20 minutes of Indiana Jones?
All he does. You don't see
the mild-mannered professor first. You see badass Indiana Jones.
Ford.
And then
Harrison Ford is cool, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. At the beginning of Raiders, right, you see badass Indiana Jones, and obviously he loses the idol, but you take the wins with the losses, and then he goes back to Hunter or wherever it is, the college that he's at, and then it's like, oh damn, he's smart too, and everyone loves him, and his students want to sleep. And it's like, wow, he's
Yeah.
multifaceted. But the first thing you see is Indy being a badass.
Yes.
Same thing with Carter.
He's a
it's
like,
normal
you can-
guy.
You can
he
you
doesn't
can see
have
him. You can see him. You know, I don't know,
weird
fighting
alien
off,
metal wings
oh
that
my
grants him the somewhat immortality and the power of flight. He's got some giant metal mace that can electrocute people. No,
Oh, it's a good damn thing
and a
that he doesn't
fedora.
have some weird kind of alien ring
I
that
think you're being
gives him
too
the power of
ornery.
light and lets
That's
him
it.
Come on
That is
now,
different,
Rob.
and you know it.
Slap out.
Hawkman is one-dimensional.
No, he's
that
not.
is so not true.
He doesn't have the fan base that Green Lantern does, but he is a really cool character.
Also,
He's just an everyday guy that
for someone
came to
whose
find out he
past
was
is
like
literally like etched across time and space. I think it's impossible for him to be one-dimensional because the possibilities are limitless of all the different stories you could tell of his past. You could have an awesome Western story when they were Cinnamon and the other Western name that you have. You do a flashback to the Golden Age where they're working with the JSA. You do a flashback to them, raiding some Egyptian temple. Like, there's so many cool aspects of Hawkman's past that you can tap into, and that's just the history stuff. You could do a bunch of modern day stories that don't deal with that at all, and it's still just as entertaining. I think, Rob, that you are wrong, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough. I'll stick to reading Warren Worthington adventures, but
Lame.
But Josh, you're welcome.
Lame.
I got the heat off of you.
You certainly did.
I certainly did. I knew that was
Because now I am mad at you.
Understandable. But honestly, yeah, I've never really cared too much about Hawkman. So this issue was kind of hit or miss.
I've never really cared for you.
Quite
Quite frankly.
Damn.
I'm sorry. You know I love you.
I know.
Just got a little heated, okay?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's an interesting enough issue. I just want some of the mysteries to pick up a little bit. So it feels like they're just throwing shit at a wall almost and seeing what'll stick. I don't know. It's just got a weird vibe
you
for
at
me
a
right
wall.
now.
yeah.
Oh my God. It's got a weird vibe for me right now where a bunch of stuff is happening, but at the same time it feels like nothing's happening,
What do you give it?
It doesn't feel like they've really progressed much from issue 1. They're just half the JSA is still in hell, stuck there, and the other half in the brownstone are still trying to figure shit out between their relationships and mysteries. And that's where they were in issue 1. It's issue 3 and nothing's progressed. It just feels a little stalemate almost. So I'm just kind of hoping it picks up next issue. I am going to give it for now, a 7.
When he said that like that, it was such a poisonous score. When you
JSA.
It's just because you hate Hawkman because you have no taste.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Jenna, you say that shit, and I hear the Jaws music start playing.
Something inside of me just it's a bubbling.
What do you mean you don't like flying Indy Jones?
Yeah.
It's a really cool character idea that hasn't been given a lot of love.
What's funny because I think I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know if it was confirmed, but I know there was like some kind of rumor or speculation that after the original Dark Knight's Metal, Jeff Lemire was supposed to do the Hawkman series that came out, but for some reason he walked away from the project. So I wonder if there were any ideas that ever trickled into this upcoming run. I hope so.
I hope so too. That would be cool. It would be groovy.
Anyway,
Was I the last one?
Yeah, man.
Okay, well, now for a better flying superhero.
A better flying superhero?
Yeah.
He doesn't
What a-
fly.
what a better co. I'm
Look,
sorry. I
look.
can't even be mean without laughing.
I don't even know what you were trying to say. What did
I said I want a better co-host.
Shit.
Still throwing shade at you. I'm gonna do my best to remember to remind him to throw shade at you.
You can't find
For
a
hitting
better
Hawkman.
co-host.
We can make you. We can force read. We can make you read Hawkman.
I'll strap you to a chair, Clockwork Orange style, and make you read nothing but Hawkman.
Yep.
But no, none of these are green.
No, I can't.
None of these are green.
I can't stop. I don't care about this weird alien bird man. I'm like, no, you will love it.
You don't even need the mask.
His name's not Harvey. I don't care.
He's not trying to practice law, Rob.
Good, because he'd be bad at it.
Ugh.
Bad at everything.
He's not bad at archaeology. He's not bad at fucking people up with punching them in the face with a maze.
That's why he got captured by low-level demons.
Well, that was a particular situation. Do you remember what it was?
Well, he did get stabbed in the chest with a
Yeah.
flaming Zord.
Right. So, there was that.
Yeah. He's such a badass when he gets stabbed in the chest with a flaming sword.
All right. Well, I'd like to see you hold your own against the flaming sword, Mister. I'm too cool.
Where we
for Hawkman.
start having to throw hell's problems back at him.
Look, you already know that Hal is my least favorite of the 7 Earth Lanterns.
Which is also a crazy take.
I will never shy
Go
away
on.
from throwing problems at Hal. Okay, so Batman, the Dying
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yes.
This is written by Chip Zdarsky, art from Tony S. Daniel. Hell yeah, best Batman artist, fight me. Colors from Toma Mori and letters from Clayton Cowles. This is our last book of the week. Hallelujah, guys, we did it.
Been a long one, yes indeed.
We made it. Oh my God, it's Legacy 921. We're getting close to 1,000 issues of Batman. That's crazy.
I can't wait for that selection of variant covers.
Yeah.
One of us may be writing in Batman 1000.
Oh.
Dare to dream. Dare to dream. That's all I'm
Oh.
saying.
I look forward to that backup story from Brandon Chandler. That's gonna be good.
I wish.
That would be so cool. Anyway, Commander Starr is helping protesters blow shit up. Meanwhile, Batman is beating up cops and trying to get Gordon out of Dodge. Bullock steps in and points his gun at Batman, but then Batman says Jim was set up and reveals that the glasses that he was wearing are Mad Hatter mind control glasses, and it was designed by Nigma. Edward Nigma. So Batman heads off to go take care of the Riddler, who is in his office building with Leonid. Riddler tells him he might want to leave as the guest of honor will soon arrive, and he does. Batman arrives at Nigmatech and solves a various set of annoying riddles and puzzles designed to keep Batman on his toes, as the Riddler does. He takes care of them all, but eventually gets tired of shit and says to Enigma, "Look, I've solved most of your shit, and I've figured shit out. Okay, I've saved Jervis, and you're an idiot. The Court of Owls is trying to use your servers to take over the world." Leonid is most likely Russian backed. So the Court of Owls are backed by Russian spies, and with your tech, they are now able to hack into any server on the planet, including nuclear missiles. You fucked up, son. So Riddler starts to second guess himself and starts to help Batman, by giving him access to his server. But by the time he gets there, he is met by various members of the Court of Owls. Jim Gordon shows up to help out and takes down some Court of Owls assassins, which, oh no, never mind. I was going to say, those are talents. I was going to say, how the hell is he able to just do it with a fire extinguisher? Because they used to be dead, but no, these are normal people. They're not talents.
Not talents.
Not talents, yeah.
Not the talent.
The the server that has the cryptography code is missing, so Leonid Cull must have it. Gordon says, I'll take care of Enigma, you go get the stuff that you need. Batman heads out, leaves a utility belt with Gordon as he goes to his car to get backup. Jervis Tetch has found his hat tech that he was looking for, but at the same time finds a bomb hidden nearby that is supposedly going to blow up the building. Jim Gordon finds Enigma and begins to beat him up, then gets found by Rhonda, Enigma's bodyguard. Using the utility belt, Jim Gordon is able to get the upper hand, stops Enigma, and they find another bomb. Seems to be quite a few bombs. Batman is headed straight for Gotham Airfield, where he's going to find Leonid Cull, who is very close to boarding his private jet on his way to Russia. But this is when Enigma Tech blows up as Batman starts to piece together the last little bits. The one thing he can't figure out is Commander Star. However, as he thinks a little harder about it, Commander Star is really sowing various seeds of destruction. He works for Leonid. He knows that, and one of Riddler's clues was not in pounds, but I measure weight. And I won Beauty's love, which started as hate. The Beast won the Beauty's love, as seen in Beauty and the Beast. And in the first part of the riddle, he might be talking about kilograms, which is abbreviated as kg. So who is Commander Star, do you think? Who is Russian, a beast, and has kg in the name? Why, it's none other than Ra's al Ghul. No, it's KG Beast. You're muted, Josh.
Oh, damn it. I said Geoforce.
Geoforce, yeah.
I was close. I was real close.
So close. No, as KG Beast has been secretly Commander Star the entire time and a Russian sleeper agent, as that makes sense. So, Batman's kind of fucked. He's facing like 4 villains at the same time right now. It's kind of wild. Technically 5 if you count Mad Hatter, but Mad Hatter was kind of against his will in a way.
In a way, yeah.
In a way. 6 if you count his secret brother, but
I was like,
I feel like his brother's just going to be a patsy and it's not going to be anybody of note, which kind of is annoying, but we'll have to see what happens. Very interesting issue. A lot of stuff came to fruition. Stuff with the Riddler was really cool. It had a classic feel to it. Still felt kind of silly that Riddler was just on the drop of a dime, put on a mask. It's time to go have some fun with Batman. Yeah, back to the old style.
I like that.
It was cool, but I'm thinking at the same time, come on, dude! Like you had an out.
You know what? If I'm being completely honest, just the fact that he doesn't have on a bowler hat with god awful mutton chops makes me so fucking happy.
Yeah, like it was really cool to see Riddler have Batman go through puzzles and tests and
yes,
it was really cool to see. Honestly, I loved it. I ate that shit up. But I just, there's a bit in the back of my mind is thinking, like, fuck's sake, Riddler started his own company, made millions, and yet he still can't let go of tormenting Batman.
Nope.
Like, god damn, dude.
We're on board now.
Get a hobby. What happened to the growth we saw in that backup?
He got bored?
Yeah, he must have. Like, god damn, dude.
Super bored.
I like that KG Beast has kind of become like an arch nemesis, a pseudo arch nemesis to Batman recently, over the past 5-6 years.
Don't say it.
Don't say what.
You know what? The precipice of the initial feud.
Oh, I'm not bringing up why. I'm just saying over the past 5-6 years,
Okay.
he's become a pseudo arch nemesis for Batman. And I like that he's
What, killing
culminated
Ronald
here.
Reagan?
Sheesh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it. I love Ronald Reagan.
Killing Ronald McDonald?
But trying to kill Ronald Reagan. Excuse me. Wasn't successful. God forbid.
Ronald Reagan.
He shot Ronald McDonald.
Stop it! You guys are freaking me out. Stop
Oh,
it.
sorry. I didn't realize 10 Nights of the Beast was such a sense of deception.
10 Nights of the Beast.
Ronald McDonald then became the Colonel.
Wait, what?
KGB shot Ronald McDonald in the head, and then Ronald McDonald became the Colonel.
Was like KG Beast a vegan or some shit?
Yes.
That's fucked up. It makes sense though. Perhaps that's where he gets his anger issues from.
Could be.
But how would he have so much energy? Well, we'll figure that out some other show.
Exactly. My big question about KG Beast is becoming Commander Stark. Where did he get that hand?
Target.
Was that a pun? Because that was a damn good pun. Because he always hits his target. That's been a while ago, folks. I think we're friggin' tired. But
we might be.
Oh,
we'll have to review it and find out.
Oh god. It's drawn by Tony Daniel, so I love the art. The story is quite interesting. I'm going to give this Batman number 156 an 8.75 out of 10.
Fair enough. Have you been keeping up with the chat?
Yeah, Brady's talking his shit again.
Yep. If you put in 1/10 of the energy you do putting in this podcast, we could have a wrestling podcast.
Called out.
And if you put in 1/10 of the noise cancellation you need in your microphone, you might be able to sustain conversation on the podcast.
Yes. We've had a couple of visitors. Waleed, Russell, Jared, thank you guys very much for watching. Gaslighting. He's funny. No. I'm sorry, Rob. Were you done talking?
I was. I gave my score 8.75 out of 10.
Nice.
Brandon, what did you think?
I'm sorry. I gotta collect my thoughts because I was so angry at Rob. Hawkman, I had to dig through my collection so I could read some Hawkman so I could purge my mind after this conversation. So why don't you give your thoughts and then I'll do it, but I can collect myself.
All right. So like I flipped that page and I didn't see that coming. I went, whoa.
Yeah.
When I found out it was KG Beast, at first it was like Bruce would have recognized his moves. But then I realized he really didn't see him use moves all that much. You know what bums me out? Zdarsky isn't writing Batman forever.
Yeah.
Here's the hoping that whatever he's getting into next, I'm into, and it's at DC. This has been awesome. I've loved everything with the exception of the initial disappearance of Failsafe. Everything else he has done has been awesome. This issue is no different. Art and story. And at the end, when what's-her-name is talking to Bruce about how she helped Nigma, it's just casually mentioned again, Bruce's brother. This thing, it's like just... It's being Tom Taylored. It's like Heartless. It's there. It's just not being talked about. And this whole secret brother thing, and not knowing if it's just some kind of fluff shit that won't matter, or if this is gonna be some kind of explosive moment. It's driving me insane reading Batman right now. I need next month's issue. I loved this one. Story is beyond great, and that means a lot when I say that the art is so good that sometimes it's distracting from the story. I gave this a 9 out of 10.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree. I think this is a solid issue. Definitely appreciated the KG Beast reveal. Was not expecting that, but also not going unappreciated. Because I was wondering, I was like, why bring a character like Commander Star in this light? What's the angle? What are you trying to do? So incorporating an older villain while still having a kind of clever twist on it was nice. And like Rob said, the classic Riddler shit, it's just fun. That's just awesome.
I liked it, man. It's great.
And I like it when villains can lean into some of the campiness of it, I guess. So yeah, no, 8 out of 10 for me. Also, I don't know if I can say Tony Daniel is the best Batman artist, but there is something about his style that like it just gives me a good feeling.
Yeah,
It makes me feel like I'm reading a Grant Morrison Batman book again. And
right.
I don't know. It awakens something in me, much like Rob shitting all over Hawkman.
I thought you moved on from this.
I would never move on. I would never forget. I would never let go. I would never compromise. I'm turning into Rorschach.
Oh, God. God forbid another Hawkman series come up. I will never hear the end of it.
I'm gonna make sure you read every issue without fail. You're gonna summarize it too with a smile on your face.
All right. Wait, did you give your score?
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
No, okay. So,
So.
once Josh stopped playing with his microphone, we can get into our top, I will say, because it's 2 weeks, our top 4 and favorite 2 moments.
Oh, shit. I wasn't prepared. Okay,
I know,
so
I just thought of it a minute ago.
hold on a second. While I'm trying to figure that out,
If you want,
I have a question I want to ask you guys real quick.
Okay.
If you were given one shot by DC to write one full story for any character you wanted, up to 12 issues with an option to renew, what character would it be, and what's like a real brief click of what that story might look like, if you know?
Hawkman,
if you know,
called Extreme Hawkman. He does badass shit for 12 issues. It's great. It's 50 issues long.
Oh
And
shit,
bringing
man.
Robin as a co-writer.
You do not want me as a co-writer for Hawkman. That's going to be the most boring Hawkman you ever read.
Oh man. No, in all seriousness. Well, actually, why don't you guys go first? Kind of got to think about it.
Captain Comet, and it's going to be that the plot I'd have to think about, but I definitely want to write a Captain Comet series. Captain Comet's like a forgotten gem for DC.
Yeah, he was recently brought up in was it last month's Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah, he was brought up.
I do
Last time
believe
he was
just
actually
mentioned
in a comic.
he wasn't, but I mean it's good to see that his name is still, I mean, technically
Out
still in print. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, man. I would probably write that. I don't know if you guys remember it or not, but I've got it pulled up. I shared with you guys a Justice League Dark story once. It will always and forever be that. That will be the Like if I was ever given a one shot to make this happen kind of story, it would be that Justice League Dark story.
Right on.
I don't know. I'm torn between choosing something that's safe, like a character that I know that everyone knows that I feel like I could do a spin on, or going the more artsy route and picking an obscure character and just kind of having my way with them. So I think I'm gonna go with the latter option, and I'm gonna.
That's what I did.
I always had this weird idea for a Bawana Beast story.
Whoa!
That was very much inspired by Animal Man, Grant Morrison's Animal Man. That I don't know. I kind of want to sit on that for a while in case the opportunity ever comes around. Because they introduced it. I mean, he's been around for a while, but they introduced a new Bawana Beast. I think he's based in South Africa. I can't remember his name. And there was always.
Is it South Africa?
I gotta look it up. It's the arc where Vixen and Animal Man. Or no. It's no. I'm blanking right now, but basically the original Bawana Beast kind of hangs up his helmet, and the new one takes on the mantle to take down like a military warlord. And I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't South Africa exactly.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that was in either.
But I felt like there was so much more story potential in having a Bawana Beast that was more politically inclined. I wanted to do something with that. And I don't know, maybe deconstruct the powers of the helmet a little bit.
That would be pretty cool. That would be really cool. Especially in that area too. That would be awesome. That would be good stories.
I feel bad not remembering his name.
I couldn't tell you the particulars of that Justice League Dark story that I want to write right now.
Yes,
So, I mean,
South African activist Dominic Ndawe. Not Bawana Beast, but Freedom Beast. So.
Yeah, but I mean, same character.
Yeah, Bawana is kind of a offensive thing. But, yeah, I don't know. I would want to do something like that, something with low stakes, so I could really just kind of go crazy.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Bawana
I
Beast.
straight up did not expect anything other than Doom Patrol to come out of Brandon's mouth.
You know,
I thought he would think that Nightwing was the easy answer and say Doom Patrol, so I could do anything I wanted.
That's the funny thing. I Doom Patrol would have been like top 5 easily, but I thought that would have been too easy for me. And if I'm being honest with myself, like, I don't know. I don't know if I could write Doom Patrol, to be honest. I feel like there are a lot of characters where it's like, if I was really put to the task, I could write it. But Daredevil and Doom Patrol are the two that, for the life of me, I just can't come up with anything original at all. Every time I think of it, it just comes across as really derivative.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Well, hey, I guess know where your strengths lie, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's important.
One thing I'll say about Bawana Beast is better costume than the new Adam costumes.
Oh Jesus!
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, we're
Come
gonna
on,
give him
no.
shoulder pads and pouches and.
Then they'll have it in pouches.
badass,
You needed a Windex.
Yeah, the most badass sword you've ever seen. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well.
Okay. Top 4 2 favorite moments.
Okay, so I'm meeting you in the middle.
Okay.
I already had 2 favorite moments. As it turns out, they're both from the same week, I think. But too befuddled to be able to go back and pick out another one. So this is where we're at. But my top 4 I can do. 4th place is Flash 16. I absolutely love that shit. The next 3 are just stellar. 3rd place is Justice League, the Atom Project number 1. Number 2 is JSA 3. And number 1 is Batman 156. 156. Awesome books this last couple of weeks. And my favorite moment, number one, is the splash page of Captain Atom all by himself. That was fantastic. That was great artwork. And then because I'm a big fan of the dad joke, and it's a joke that I make all the time, is the Oprah joke. I'm going to include that when Onyx says, I feel like Oprah, you get an antidote, and you get an antidote, and you get... I loved it. It was a little bit of me in comics. Favorite moment.
Right on. Brandon, you want to go next?
I suppose I can. Number 4, I think I'm going to give to Shazam. Number 3, Birds of Prey. Number 2, Green Arrow. And number 1 is a tough call between JSA and Superman. Sorry, Superman. I'm going to have to give it to JSA this week. And if only to spite Rob for his terrible taste.
Not liking Hawkman?
My favorite moment from this week is from JSA number 3, where Hawkman says, I'm going to beat that smile off your smug face, which is exactly how I feel when you say you hate him. And just kidding, Rob. Never put violence upon you.
That's what Hawkman is for.
Yeah.
But did he beat that smug smile off his face? No, he's still bound.
No, but he will.
He will.
I think
I'd like to see you do it if you were bound with the innards of angels.
I think Kendra's going to be the one to save his ass because Hawkgirl's cooler.
Not cooler than Hawkwoman.
I don't think so.
Cooler than Hawkman, but not cooler than Hawkwoman.
Hawkman, basically.
Shut your dirty pirate hooker mouth.
I'm sorry. I also got distracted by yet another of Russell's comments.
Russell's comments are something else.
Yeah. We have some good arguments.
Oh, man. I can only imagine.
All right, so for me, number 4, I'm going to have Detective Comics. Number 3 is going to be Birds of Prey. Number 2 is going to be Shazam. I'll be honest, those two are very interchangeable for me, is between 2 and 3. And number 1 is Superman. Favorite moment number 1 is going to be from The Flash with Irie saying, I thought we were done with all that pseudoscience stuff. I was so happy to say, because I'm thinking, yeah. I thought
Me too.
That's what I was saying. And my other favorite moment in Shazam is when Freddy gets his pantheon of powers from Hephaestus. So that is fucking cool. I like that.
Indeed.
I like that it was like interlocked between both Billy's pantheon and Freddy's pantheon.
Yeah, you got to see the similarities.
Yeah.
The crossover. Yeah, it was really cool.
Indeed it was.
All right. So that is our double spread page of a week. God damn, it's been a long one. I am beat, so I'm gonna go sleep.
Yes, indeed. You will hear from me next. You'll hear from me tomorrow with the honorable mentions. I'll be releasing those as well as this show when it is released along on Spotify. The show followed the following day, and next week we will be covering on this show Absolute Batman 4, Action Comics 1082. Batman and Robin 17, Batman Dark Patterns 2, that's so good. Aquaman 1, DC vs. Vampires World War V6, Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum number 1, and Black Lightning number 3. So thank you everybody for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases, same geek time, same geek channel. And that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone. Finger guns.
Peace. So I was looking at League of Comic Geeks, and it doesn't have like half the books you mentioned.
Well, you're doing it wrong.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.